Well, good morning to you all. Sorry we're a couple of minutes late. There were some technical gremlins, but we're here now. It's lovely to have your company. Thank you so much. I am Bex. This is the lovely Adam, come to join us in the shed today as well. You've been here 3 days running now, haven't you?
I have, yeah, really busy. I had
Are
my
you sick
first.
of us yet?
No, I love it. Yeah, I had my first TikTok live show yesterday on my own.
Yay!
Which I was a bit anxious about, but it went well. Yeah, we all enjoyed it. It was good.
Ah, well, it's nice to be here with you.
Yeah, nice to see you.
It's nice to be here with you as well. Thank you so much. I was just reading your emails. Alison, we will come and help you with your hellebores. I'm sure that we've got some great advice for you. Good morning to Verna, Neil, Elaine, Grimmy and Bill, who says it's sunny in northeast Scotland. How fantastic. Sunny Huddersfield for Grimmy as well. Let us know your weather forecast. Hopefully it's nice and sunny everywhere in the UK. Fingers crossed. It's a lovely week, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, we've had the longest dry period for months and months and months, haven't we?
I've been out water. Apparently we're having a problem with your mic.
Yeah,
I'll keep talking. It's switched on.
Switched on?
It is switched on. I'll keep talking for the time being, and we'll see if we can sort it out. Well, I've got some boring things to tell you about anyway. Good morning to Craft Store viewers. Hopefully you're tuning in on Facebook as well. You can watch us in various different places. There's Facebook, there's YouTube, there is also the YouGarden website as well. It is lovely to have your company, as I said, so thank you for joining us. If you'd like to send us any emails or any comments or any questions, you can do. You can join the chat on Facebook and on YouTube, and you can send any emails to ygtv@yougarden.com. I have the iPad. I am ready to receive your emails, your questions, your comments, but most importantly, any pictures that you fancy sending us. Now, I need to tell you that everything that you can see in the potting shed has free postage on it. So you don't have to wait, you don't have to build your basket, you don't have to get it to a certain amount. You can get free postage on every single item that you order here. If you're only ordering one, or if you're ordering everything on the show, then you can get that free postage, but you have to enter that code there. Can you see it? YGTV1425. When you place your order, there's a little box that comes up on the website. It says, do you have an offer code? That's the thing that you enter there, YGTV1425. That gives you a saving. Most of the time, we've got double up deals, half prices, we've got triple deals sometimes. There's generally a saving on most things, but it'll also give you your free postage included in there as well. What else do I need to tell you? Oh, there's a club. Do you want to be in the club? Do you want to join our club? We very much recommend that you join our club. It costs you just £10 to join the club, but it gives you 15% discount off of everything that you can see on the show, but also via the website as well. You can get 7.5% discount off of garden machinery and furniture and things like that as well. You'll instantly get £20 worth of YouGarden vouchers. That will come out to you in the post. There'll be a little welcome pack, so you can use those vouchers to spend throughout the year. And you'll also get exclusive offers, competitions and expert advice. Oh, and another thing that we added into the discount club was a couple of free postage items offers as well. So a couple of vouchers worth £6.99 each, which allows you free postage. Now, nothing in the potting shed has postage attached to it, but if you shop the website, you will find that there is postage to pay on those. So those two vouchers there will give you a couple of free postage incentives. The club is on an auto renewal, and it is that yearly subscription. It is actually £10. I think we've got the wrong image there now. It's £10 to join the club. We did put the price up a little bit, but you lock that price in when you place your order. So that means if we put the price up again on the club, you'll have locked in that £10 membership on the auto renewal, and you'll never pay any more than that, as long as you don't let your membership lapse in any way. So it's a fantastic club to be a member of. You'll get all those discounts. I've saved an absolute fortune by being a member of that club, and you're going to get that free postage included in there as well. Right, so we've done emails, we've done club, we've done free postage. I think we've covered it all, haven't we? Let's bring Adam back in, because I think his mic is working now.
Well, we're not sure, so this is kind of... Can you hear me?
Can you hear him? Woohoo! Oh, we can hear you on my mic. Yours is having a problem.
Okay.
Still. Do we want to go and change some mics over and see if we can make them work?
Yeah,
and I'll talk about some products.
I'm going to just say goodbye again for a minute.
It's all right. I can talk about some of the products, and then we will bring Adam back in. Should we start in the middle with the rhododendrons to begin with? We're going to go for the hybrid lilac collection. Adam, over there, look, my love. The one's plugged in. grab a couple of them. We're going to start with the Rhododendron Hybrid Collection, where we've got the lilac, we've got the red, and we've got the pink. And this is a fantastic time to get hold of your rhododendrons because these give you evergreen colour, first of all. So you've got that foliage that's attached to these plants all year round. But right now is the perfect time to get them because if I show you the top of these plants, the buds. Can you see those gorgeous buds in the centre of those leaves there? They're big, fat, chunky buds. This is what I like about rhododendrons. And when those open up, they give you the most showy, fantastic, glorious blooms. And this is part of the hybrid collection as well. So you have got some of that lovely patterning in the centre of the petals there. Pollinators do actually really like rhododendrons too. It's like a little landing pad for them. That sort of, what's it called? The tiger marking that you've got on there, the little stripes and those lovely little spots. It's like a landing pad for bees, and they erupt into bloom sort of from the end of April, we're into beginning of April now, aren't we? So these should be starting to bloom within April and going into May. They last a good few weeks as well, and they are showy, they're bright, they're beautiful, and you're getting all three of these included. There is a £15 saving on here. So that offer code that I was talking about, the YGTV 1425, that is going to access that saving. That'll give you £15 discount on here, and then it will take the postage off as well. Plus, there's two prices that you can see on the screen right now. There's one up here in red, £29.47, and there's also one down there in yellow, £25.47. You want to pay the lower price, don't you? Of course you do. There's a good... I'm not good at maths. What is it, £3.50? Something like that. Close to that. That's going to give you that discount by joining our club. So please be part of the club. £10 to join, £3.50 taken off just this one item. You can see, can't you, how you're going to start making those wonderful savings. Try again. Can you
hear me? Can everybody?
Yay! We're going back. All right, good. Nice to have you here. Thank you so much.
It was dodgy batteries.
Is there anything else you want to add about these? Evergreen, beautiful colour.
The rhododendrons.
Talk about ericaceous or anything.
Yeah.
You do that bit.
Yeah, ericaceous soil. So basically, if you've already got rhododendrons, camellias, azaleas growing well and happy in your garden soil, these can go straight in with all of those. If you've got ones that aren't looking so good, you need to grow these in a container with ericaceous compost. That way they'll be happy. But these do make fantastic container plants as well because they're quite a nice, compact, slow-growing rhododendron. But I mean, these are absolute stunners, Bex, aren't they? I mean, and I can't believe, the value on these. I was saying during the week, there's a garden centre not far from me, not the D one because I like that one, but the other one, and they would be happy to charge you £29.99 for just one.
I know, for
one
each
of those.
of them, and particularly at this time of year.
Yeah.
Because obviously when something's just coming into bloom, that's when places can charge a premium, isn't it? Because that's when we want it.
Yeah.
Perfect time to get them home now so you can enjoy the colour that's going to come on here.
Exactly, and that's the good thing. There's no waiting with these either. You've got the buds on there already, so come May time, those buds will start to swell. They'll burst open, and kind of throughout May, round about Chelsea Flower Show time, you'll get those beautiful blooms.
I always think they're a good, not just a gap filler. They're worth more than that. What I mean is, spring bulbs are coming up, daffodils are starting to go over, tulips are starting to come out, and then as the spring bulbs start to go, and before all the summer flowers come in, this is a great one to make sure you continue getting colour, isn't it? Yeah,
you say that sort of gap, that everybody kind of knows that gap, don't they, between all the spring bulbs going and then as everything else kicking in, they do fill that space really, really nicely. Yeah. And they're good for shade as well. They like quite, good for dappled shade. Places like they look fantastic growing with Japanese acers. They look good with ferns, hostas, hellebores, all those kind of shade-loving things. They work really, really well. But I'm just blown away by how beautifully perfect each of these plants is.
Well, there you go. It's 511673 if you'd like to get them. Go to the YouGarden.com to place your orders, but there is a phone line as well. You can see the details at the bottom of the screen there. So you can place your order on the phone line. Just tell the operator, that's my universal sign language for speaking on the phone, obviously. Tell the operator that you have an offer code, YGTV1425. That's the code you need to get all of those wonderful discounts and the free postage as well. Right, we're moving on. We're moving on to the tiny pampa that is not so tiny, but it is tiny in comparison to the great big pampas grasses that I would love to grow in my garden, but I don't have the space. I do have space for this.
Yeah, exactly. And I've just brought in the kind of the little 9cm ones as well.
These are the ones
because
that I planted. And admittedly, I should have waited for the grown-on one to come in, but I've just planted these. This is going to grow into that.
Yeah, and no bigger, which is the really good thing about it, because, you know, pampas grass ordinarily, they can be huge, can't they? They can be 6-7 foot tall, they can be, you know, a couple of metres wide, they can take up a really big footprint in your garden. These are so beautiful and compact. You can grow these in a pot, you can grow these in a container, and then late summer, mid to late summer, you get these beautiful plumes, these sort of grassy, wispy plumes that come up, look gorgeous, caught by the autumn sunshine. And these are real statement plants as well, and they're neat. These ones are tidy. You're not going to, you know, have one of these plants going to sort of take over the, you know, masses and masses of space. So if you've always wanted to grow a pampas grass, but you thought to yourself, yeah, I need kind of like an area of about 3 or 4 square metres to grow one, well, you don't. No. And what you could do now, which is what Bexy's doing, is that time of year now where these have gone over. I mean, we've kept them all through the winter, and sometimes you can leave them on a little bit longer if you want, because sometimes the birds actually come and nick all these and use them for their nests.
Yeah.
But
I actually love them left on over winter. I think they provide gorgeous winter interest, but these have gone over now, and in actual fact, I was doing it the other day, some of them you can kind of tug on and they will just come away because they have gone over. But it would be a good time to start just trimming those down, and that will reinvigorate the plant, give it the energy it needs to then start throwing up those new ones that come out. They're late summer, aren't they?
Yeah, they are kind of August, kind of into September, October time. And, you know, any ends of the leaves that are a bit brown, you can just trim them off as well. Yeah, I've got kind of builders, gardener's hands, but you know, what I'd suggest is if you've got kind of softer hands, just put a pair of gloves on with these as well, because sometimes the edges of the leaves can just be a little bit sharp, like pampas grass are. But no, just a fantastic way of enjoying a pampas grass, but without giving up half your garden space to do it.
Well, I'm growing mine in pots, so they are the perfect one for container growing as well. They do want a nice bright sunny spot, so make sure you've got some decent sunshine. Small gardens, small spaces, even balconies could grow these, and that would give glorious evergreen colour as well. 561341 is the item number. A couple of pounds taken off. That's accessed by using that code. And of course the free postage. That is accessed by entering that code. And about £1.50 you're getting off that as well by being a club member. See how your savings are starting to add up by spending £10 to join the club. All of a sudden we're getting that money back, aren't we? Very, very quickly. So do think about joining that club today.
And you could even get more off using one of your £5 tokens, couldn't you, as well?
I've spent all mine now.
I know. But so
mine have all gone. I've got no more vouchers left. But yes, that £20 of vouchers comes in really nice and handy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Yeah, and I like your little trick you said about them as well, is that you know, you don't have to spend them at necessarily the time of year stated, as long as you use them on separate orders. Yeah, you can spend them kind of any time you like.
So they have start and end dates on them, but the only date you need to pay attention to is the end date. You can spend all 4 of them in the same day if you want to. Just make sure you're looking at the end date because they expire, but the start date means nothing. I know. Listen, the head gardener told me that, so I'm allowed to say it. He stood in this potting shed and said it, so I'm allowed to say it. Right, Alistair's got a question. Can we answer it? Hi, everyone. I have a question. I just received my bougainvillea and have conflicted advice on compost types. Most sites say acidic, but the information I received with it say multi-purpose.
Yes.
I think it's slightly acidic,
They do, yeah. Bougainvilleas do like a slightly acid soil. I've just repotted mine.
Not fully acid, or would you go fully?
Well, I've just repotted mine and I've used ericaceous compost.
All of it?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, you know, I would go with ericaceous.
And you would use an ericaceous feed on that as well?
Yeah. Go the whole hog. Do the whole thing. Use the ericaceous compost, use the ericaceous feed. I mean, if you've already got some of our citrus feed...
Yeah, that's perfect.
That'll work. You don't have to get anything else. That'll work just as well as anything else.
And the other top tip with acid-loving plants is do try to use rainwater rather than tap water, because obviously the chemicals in our tap water changes the pH. So do try and water with rainwater. Obviously, we've had a really dry spell, so a lot of us have run out of rainwater. So what I've been doing, and look, it's okay, it's not ideal, but I've been filling buckets with tap water and then leaving them to stand for a couple of days, because it does evaporate some of the chemicals from it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I have been doing that, but ideally you want rainwater.
I did do a bit of an insane thing the other day.
Did you buy some?
I filled my water butt up with my hose pipe.
Right.
Because it's run out.
Because it's run out.
It's not rained where I live for about 4 or 5 weeks. Well, we had one day of a little bit of rain, but it's one of the longest, driest periods we've had probably in about a year, to be honest.
It's been a long time.
And even next week, it's all looking. I mean, I'm not knocking it. I'm loving the blue sky and the sun.
Me too. I'd like it to rain at night time though.
Yeah, that'd be good.
If it could be sunny in the day and rain at night.
If only.
That's the perfect
Nirvana,
thing, isn't it? Right. Oh, apparently rain here on the 13th. Is that right?
Well, that's pretty typical.
That far away, can we?
Because I've booked the 13th and the 14th
That's typical, yeah, exactly.
2 days off to do some gardening. There you go.
It's going to absolutely pour
Great.
down.
I'll come here instead.
Right, let's bring you on to something fantastic now. This is the citrus kumquat with fruit. With fruit, yes. This is what you would be receiving, or something very similar, anyway. Yes, we've brought in a load of stuff. I say we. Our lovely head gardener went for a visit out to Sicily with the buyers, and he sourced all of these. We've got kumquats, we've got all sorts of different things available on the website. This is the one, that's his picture, by the way, taken on the nursery where he sourced these from. This is the one we brought into the potting shed, so this is the one that's got free postage plus a £10 saving on here. Now, kumquat, you were telling me about these. These are delicious, but they're a mixture, aren't they? They're a mix between an orange and a...
Oh, no, that was the...
Oh, darn it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a calamondin.
Ignore me, I'm talking nonsense.
No, you're not, because the calamondin, funny enough, is a mixture of a kumquat plus a mandarin. Yeah, so this does actually contribute to creating another type of citrus plant that we have got, not on the show, but it is available.
These are delicious as well. So when we first got them in, we were trying them, and they were a bit, I'm not going to lie, they were a bit sharp.
Yeah.
But they weren't quite ripe enough. And then we've been trying them again over the last couple of weeks, and they're actually starting to really sweeten up now.
I'm going to go in again.
Go.
I 2 or 3 yesterday.
You eat the skin, so it looks and feels like an orange skin, but you actually eat it, and it's quite sweet, isn't it? It's really juicy.
Get rid of the pip. Don't want the pip.
Yeah, get rid of the pips. But they're amazing, and I think these, as a feature plant in pots, I would definitely recommend pots because they need that winter protection. So this would be a perfect pot-grown plant.
Definitely, and again, it likes the acid soil as well. So use ericaceous compost if you repot it. Use the citrus feed, but yeah, the weird. Oh, it's really made my mouth water. That has. You know, the weird thing about these is, first of all, if you've got children or grandchildren, they're going to think you're totally mad, popping the whole fruit in your mouth.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, because when I was
what are you doing? You peel those.
Well, do you remember when you was a kid? Like, you take the skin off and you peel off every bit of that slight white.
All of it.
I
used to hate that.
I know.
Now you don't care.
But now you can just pop the whole thing, eat the whole thing, which seems really, really weird. But strangely enough, at the moment on these, the flesh is actually, the skin is actually sweeter than the flesh, which which is really strange.
It's beautiful though.
It's nice.
Do bring them in over winter. They don't like to be outside. They are frost tender, but do take them outside during the summer. Let them bask in that sunshine. No waiting, no wondering, am I going to get fruit? Am I going to get beautiful blossom? It's already appearing on the plant. And by the way, the blossom.
Well, hey.
The fragrance from the blossom that you get on any citrus is insane. It's sweet, it's heady, it's gorgeous. It's like gardenias, and it's like jasmine. It's like tuberose.
Yeah,
it's like all of those really sweet, heady smells all mixed into one.
It's divine, isn't it?
It's so nice.
We had some on the show yesterday that were in flower, and oh my goodness me, it was like aromatherapy, just inhaling that beautiful, beautiful fragrance.
That in your conservatory will fill the room with this beautiful fragrance. Anyway, right, we've got to move on. He's moving us on. Azalea Pink Spider is what we've got for you, and this is fantastic. This is brand new. This is completely new to us this season, so it's just appeared for us in the potting shed, and that is incredible. So just like your rhododendron, evergreen, but look at those flowers.
Yeah, the flowers. I mean, the flowers on this absolutely stunning. And this is the sort of plant we're going to send out to you. This is the quality of the plant. In fact, there's actually 4 little plants in this one pot to make this beautiful bushy plant being sent out to you. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 individual plants in there. And you've got that evergreen foliage, that beautiful evergreen foliage, so it looks good all the year through. The end of the foliage has got beautiful coppery colours to it. It's nice and shiny and cheerful. And then in the spring, oh my goodness me, again, around about the same time as your rhododendrons, and they're calling them all rhododendrons now, even though they're azaleas, you will get this explosion of flower.
Well, I mean, what's the difference? They're basically the same plant.
Yeah, well, we used to have rhodies and azaleas, but now they've grouped everything under rhododendron. I think eventually everything will just be rhododendron rather than kind of creating the difference. But yeah, I mean, these flowers, are absolutely beautiful. They've got these really lovely kind of spidery-like petals that are recurved. You've got that beautiful white edging down the side of each flower as well. And the foliage disappears under the flowers. I mean, you know, these are so, and I'm going to mess this word up, they're so floriferous.
Floriferous?
Yeah, I'm not going to try and say that word again. That literally, as I say, they just become this ball of absolute beautiful colour.
Yeah.
You've got that lovely deep pink, and that's got that lovely white edging as well. We're having a bit of a kind of a run on acid-loving plants here as well, because a bit like the citrus and like the rhododendrons, if you've got acid soil already in your garden, you can plant these straight in the ground. If not, they make fantastic container plants. And this is a really compact little rhododendron as well. It's only going to get to about 2 or 3 feet tall eventually.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so really happy in a container.
Because rhododendrons can get, I mean, over many years, they can get really big,
They can grow to small trees,
yeah, I mean,
if they want to.
Pictures of some massive ones, isn't there? So
yeah.
For most of us who've got smaller spaces, or for container gardeners, this is the perfect option. Beautiful evergreen foliage, amazing flowers on there, and super low maintenance as well. They really don't, I mean, you don't need to deadhead
Bone
because
hardy.
they grow slowly, there's no pruning really involved. Just simple.
And also the ones we've got have got flower buds
There's
already.
so many, isn't there?
Yeah, there's actually loads and loads of buds on these, and these will be flower buds, so yours should flower this year. And obviously once it's established, azaleas are really long-lived, so this is going to flower year after year after year after year. Just a couple of other quick things. Put it in a dappled, shady kind of area. That's what they like. It doesn't want to be in full, intense, full-on south-facing sun all day. So if you can give it a bit of dappled shade, or it can get morning sun and late evening sun, keep it moist. Don't ever let it dry out. And honestly, you'll just enjoy this plant for year after year after year.
You will indeed, and do not let it dry out. It's really important. I think I've killed my Dixonia because I let it dry out. My beautiful Dixonia that I've been growing for 2 years. It was looking so lush just a few weeks ago, and then I went out and it's looking so sad.
No, I wouldn't worry, Bex. It's still early days because I mean, you can cut the old leaves off. You left them on through the winter.
I left them on through the winter.
If you just put your finger right down in the middle of the top, you'll feel the little kind of little bumpy,
yes.
and they'll be in there. Honestly, I'll be surprised if you've lost it. I will.
Right, sorry, Matt's in my ear. He's like, we really need to move on. I'm so sorry. Let's go on. I'm going to do your comments. Stu texting as well. Hi, Stu. Good morning. Sorry, Stu. Gaillardia is up next. We've got the beautiful Arizona red shades. Oh, 3 9-centimetre pots here. Gaillardia. I always want to say it with an Australian accent, but I won't insult Australians out there. It is a look at the colours.
It is, and this is a perennial. This is going to come up for you year after year after year. It likes a nice, hot, sunny, well-drained position. And it's absolutely adored by the pollinating insects. The bees, the butterflies will love this. And from midsummer all the way into autumn, you're going to get these fantastic, gorgeous, beautiful flowers that have got the lovely kind of deep red in the middle. Then the petals gradually filter out to be yellow around the edges.
I love those yellow tips.
Yeah, they're beautiful, aren't they?
That really sets it alight.
And look at the stamens on there as well. Those gorgeous, gorgeous stamens. I can just hear the buzzing of bees. I can just see, you know, the sort of butterflies landing on this and sort of absorbing the beautiful nectar from the centre of that flower. As I say, these are perennial as well, so plant them kind of mid to front of the border. They get to about 18 inches, a couple of foot tall.
Put them next to your Rudbeckias.
Yeah, they look brilliant with Rudbeckias.
Yeah.
They also make fantastic container plants as well. So grow them in beds and borders, grow them as container plants. But all they ask of you is somewhere sunny and bright, well drained. That's where they'll be really, really happy. They're not particularly fussed about soil. They'll grow on clay soils, sandy soils, poor soils. In fact, if you put them on too richer soils, you'll get lots of leaves, but you'll get less flowers. So on slightly poorer soils, they'll flower a lot more for you. And say months and months of flowers on these as well. At the end of the season, just take the dead flowers off, leave the growth through the winter, and then in the spring when the new growth comes up, cut it down to the new growth, and they'll do all this beautiful flowering for you all over again.
Half price deal here, £15 saving on that one, so bringing it down to $14.97. Club members, you're gonna get some money off, 15% discount, so join that club. You'll get all 3 of those for £12.72. There are 3 of the 9-centimetre pots there. I'm sure it's going to be rooty. I haven't checked. But there you go. It absolutely is very, very rooty. So raring to grow. Get it planted. That's going to delight you for many, many years to come. Hello, Infinite. Nice that you found us on here. Thank you so much. One of our lovely TikTok viewers has come to find us on YGTV.
That's nice.
So let's welcome Timothy into the group, shall we? Good morning to Elaine. Hello, Simon. Hello, Neil. Hello to all of you. Alistair, you've come to join us as well. We will go through some of those comments in a little while. but I am getting in trouble because we've delayed. So let's move on to the phlox, shall we? And this is a stunner. I do love phlox.
These blow your socks off.
I love phlox because it's great ground cover, great for sort of suppressing weeds, amazing to fill gaps. But then look what you're filling the gaps with.
Yeah, I mean, Stu, as he's watching, actually described these like a little miniature firework display the other day. I mean, look at the colour ranges on these. You've got these really incredible, beautiful, intense colours. You've got reds, you've got purples, you've got whites, and you've got these really spiky, petalled flowers. These are dramatic. These really stand out. These really kind of say me, 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 and they're going to be fantastic throughout the summer in all your summer bedding displays. So your pots, your troughs, your hanging baskets, your beds, your borders. Don't even need to bother deadheading these. Just water them if they're in containers, feed them as well. Use our Blooming Fast because that's always fantastic. It's got NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. It's got the trace elements as well. So it's going to keep these plants looking gorgeous. They'll go from sort of midsummer all the way through into autumn, pretty much up until the frost stop them flowering. They're nice and compact. Probably only about 5-6 inches tall, to be honest, and they've got a nice sort of domed kind of habit, or almost like a little spreading kind of habit as well. They come in these beautiful little greenhouses, all nice plastic greenhouses, which are all recyclable. They're labelled as well, so you'll have a sort of a letter embossed on the plastic, which corresponds with the label on the front to tell you which variety is which. So don't be too keen to whip them out all in one go completely. Make sure you've identified which colour is which before you take them out of the packet. Although I wouldn't worry, to be honest, because I'd have them all mixed, and I know Bex would as well.
I would. I love a mishmash.
But you might want the individual colours. But if you're looking for a bedding plant that is stunning, that is different, that is unusual, and it is going to be one of those bedding plants that a lot of people will ask you, what is that? Where did you get that? Because I've never seen these before.
Yeah,
I've grown bedding phlox, but normally they've got the rounded, edged petals. What is glorious about these is they've got those spiky kind of petals, which I like. And they almost remind, when you look at them from a distance, they almost look a bit like a Christmas cactus kind of flower. But yeah, these are brilliant. Full sun, well drained, and just enjoy these for month after month after month.
OK, 400548, £5 saving, £25 off straight away, and then another 15% if you join the club. Plus, you got free postage by using that code YGTV1425. Hello to everybody that's watching. Thank you for joining us, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, the Craft Store Facebook page, whether you found us from TikTok and you've come to join us here. It's really, really nice to have your company. Thank you very, very much for spending your Sunday morning with us. Next, we're going to move on to a classic, a favourite. Doesn't matter what style of garden you've got, whether you're aiming for a cottage-style garden or you're looking for, a modern contemporary garden. Lavender is the perfect option for all of those, and Hidcote being the English lavender. I absolutely adore this, and so do the bees and the butterflies. Yeah,
I mean, you can't go wrong with this one, Bex, as well. And also what I like about this one, it's got more of a compact kind of habit. I grew a lavender years ago, which was lovely. It was called Vera. But it grew, I mean, one plant grew to about 1 metre square.
Right.
And then when we had heavy rain, all the flowers just collapsed.
Dropped, didn't they?
Yeah, and they went a bit mildewy, and it was a bit sad looking. These are lovely because these are much more compact. The flowers are on nice, rigid, upright stems, so even when you get rain and wind, the flowers still stand up. They make beautiful hedges. You've got that evergreen foliage as well, especially in sort of the milder winters. Then you've got those, absolutely intoxicating fragrance from these as well, that beautiful lavender fragrance and that incredible, beautiful purple. I mean, that is really just idyllic kind of purpley colour on there as well. It's going to bring in the bees, it's going to bring in the butterflies. And good thing about lavender as well is they'll grow in really poor soil, and Bex has just shown you how they come to you. These are little plug plants, fantastically grown on, perfectly formed. You can plant these straight out. You don't need to grow these on, but make sure when you plant lavender, make sure you plant them somewhere open, somewhere sunny and well drained. That's what they love. The sunniest, most well drained part of your garden you can find is where they'll be happy, but also plant them in quite poor soil. They grow in really sandy, gravelly, stony.
They're super easy.
They are. Yeah, I mean, up near where I live, there's the Norfolk lavender fields, and honestly, the soil around there is pretty much like sand, and it's got no nutrients. It drains really well, so it's bone dry. And when you drive past in the summer, just the rows of lavender look amazing.
Well, I just smelt that little, a very healthy plug, but it's small, obviously. And I just smelt the foliage on there, and the fragrance that you're getting just from that foliage is incredible. And then, of course, you're going to get it all from the flowers as well. Super easy to look after those ones. 480396. Another one with 25% discount, £5 saving on that one as well. Use your code, go to the website, or use the phone line to place your order. And if you're not a club member already, please think about joining to get all of those amazing discounts. You want to pay the lowest price you can see on screen. That is the club membership price. Next one we've got at the end. Now, this one I've not seen before. I've seen plenty of salvias, grown plenty of salvias, but this is called Amistad, this one.
I quite know Matt said he thought it was Salvia Amstrad.
Amstrad, the first computer.
So, yeah.
First computer I ever owned was the Amstrad. Oh, anyway.
He's getting rid of that guy now, and he's even breeding salvias.
He's even breeding salvias, that's it, yeah.
And Amistad, this one.
You're fired.
This isn't fired, this one, though. Actually, fun enough, we've got this in the front garden. My hubby, John, he's grown this in a container in the front garden and in the actual soil itself. And this is really dramatic. This salvia, those plants you see there, those actual plants, by the end of August, could be up to 2 metres tall.
Whoa!
They grow really quick. They're perennial as well. They'll come back year after year. Now, just to caveat that, if you want these to come back year after year, just like the lavender, plant them in really, really well-drained soil in a really good, open, sunny position.
So not my clay soil.
Don't make them compete with other plants. And once they start flowering from about the middle of summer, these keep going right the way up until the frost. I mean, they'll go right up until the middle of November. Great big spikes of these incredible purple flowers. They're just amazing. I mean, even the kind of the little sepals and stuff are a beautiful purpley colour. Loved by the pollinating insects, the bees, the butterflies. Easy to grow. Don't give them too rich a soil either. If you give them too rich a soil, you'll get masses of leaves and not so many flowers. So they do really well in poor soil. But as long as it's sunny and well drained, then you'll just get the most incredible, stunning displays from these, and they will come back year after year after year.
That's amazing. 560851 is the item number. 3 9cm pots, 33% discount on that, £10 saving using that offer code YGTV1425, and no postage to pay because you've used that offer code. Oh, we've got some good ones today, haven't we? And I don't just mean plants, I mean you lovely people there as well. I love how chatty you all are in the chat at the moment. Thank you so much for all your chat and saying good morning to everybody. Elaine's definitely added some stuff into a basket. I've lost it. Lost the plot. Just ordered the azalea and the gaillardia, so well done to you.
Great.
Neil, I don't know if we've got any Rudbeckia coming soon. It'll definitely be here at some point. We do always have it in. I only get to see the show plans week by week, and I'll receive next week's show plan probably tomorrow. It'll be here soon, though. I'm sure of that. Alistair had a good question, which is like I can't find it, but how long does... Here it is. How long does acidic compost stay acidic before it needs intervention?
It will stay like that pretty much indefinitely, really. I mean, I'll go as long as you use rainwater, because like where I live, it's really, really hard water. There's a lot of lime content in the water, so if you're using tap water, you will kind of make it more alkaline. So use rainwater, but you can always use our liquid feed, our citrus feed, and that'll be fine. So. No problem. Yeah,
I mean, if it's in pots, obviously, just the same as any other compost, you need to keep refeeding it and top dress the pots and things like that. But yeah, there you go. So if you've got any questions, by all means, please send them through. Victoria's saying, I wish they would put a blackcurrant on the show. Victoria, we can sort that, my darling. So, Matt, could you be my assistant? Would you make a note? And I will email the lovely people that put the shows together, and we can request it. I can't always guarantee that it will happen, but people have requested things in the past. We've asked the question, and it's happened. If you've ever got any requests like that, let us know. We will do our best.
Should we go the whole hog and go for white and red currants as well?
We could. We've got a whole load of grow your owns. It's amazing. So yes, we will certainly ask the question for you, Victoria. No problem. Was there any more other questions? I don't think there was any other particular questions. Simon's saying I can always find space for plants. Me too. I have no idea what's going to happen in my garden when I take all the dahlia pots and everything out of my conservatory.
Your lawn's going to get smaller.
We're tripping over stuff as it is.
Your lawn is going to end up about this big.
Yeah.
Eventually.
That's it. That bit there. Boys, you can kick the ball to each other.
That's it. Yeah.
Just on that patch.
You'll be doing it with a little pair of scissors eventually. Your lawn. That's all it'll be.
I don't care. I don't care. Right, so good morning to all of you, no matter where you're watching, YouTube, Facebook, or via the YouGarden website. We need to talk to you about our premium professional compost. If you've been watching us on any of the channels, you will know all about this by now. But if you're brand new to us, welcome, first of all. And secondly, we're going to turn you into a compost snob, and we're so happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I run out of this again this week.
Did you? I ordered another 2 bags this week.
Which I wasn't happy about. So, yeah, instructions have gone out for more to be purchased. So,
John,
yeah.
You want it?
But, yeah, this is incredible compost as well. First thing to say, this is a hugely peat-reduced compost as well. And some of the peat we do use is renewable, kind of that sphagnum moss peat as well. But where we've taken that away, we've put in that composted wood fibre. And that does loads of things. 3 things I normally point out on that as well. It creates that fantastic drainage. So you've got that combination of one element holding onto the moisture, another creating drainage as well. It keeps the compost really nice and open and airy. That means the air, the oxygen can get down to the roots of the plants. It's really, really important. And also, if you're just a little tiny plug plant, if you're a seed, if you're a cutting, you can get your roots down into the ground. And you can start forming roots like Bex was showing you there. So, right. so what's the name? Paul Daniels.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Debbie McGee.
Yeah. Yeah. What did attract you to the multi-millionaire, Paul Daniels?
Oh, I don't know. What was it?
But yeah, I mean, you can see, like in an ordinary compost, you might get, some root development. But obviously in this professional compost, oh my goodness me, you get that fantastic fibrous root system. So that means your plant is going to grow away much more quickly. It's going to be healthier. It's going to give you more leaves, more flowers, more fruit, more vegetables. But also there's a slow release fertiliser in this compost. So even once the plants start growing, they've got up to 6 months of feed on there as well. Sometimes composts dry out, don't they? And the inferior compost, when you try to wet them, just runs off. Water just runs off like water off a duck's back. This one's got a wetting agent. It makes it like kitchen towel. It wants to soak up and absorb that moisture so you can hydrate it really, really quickly. Also, it's pH balanced, which sounds gobbledygooky, but what it means is it's not too acid like the soil that rhododendrons would like, for example. It's not really alkaline like lilacs would like. It's kind of more towards the middle. So the vast majority of plants will grow in this. And Bex and I pretty much say, if it's green and it grows, it's going to pretty much love this compost.
Yeah.
Just a few things, cactus, perhaps you put in a different compost. Nearly everything else. In fact, all my house plants are in this now.
Yeah, I've just started repotting all my house plants. I've got loads of plants that I'm potting up. All your plug plants you're starting off. I've got my Begonia Super Cascade. I've just got my Jumbo American Fuchsias. That's a job for tomorrow. I'm going to be planting out. I've got my my standards. I got 2.
Yay!
I got 2. They're going into pots outside, and that's why I put my order in for another couple of bags of this. So we use it. We're not just standing here saying, you use it, but we use something else. No, you order this and we use this compost as well. It is the best. I do want you to try it. You'll turn into a compost snob. You'll never buy anything else. 100125 is the item number if you'd like to go for that one. I think what we're doing is giving you a little reminder of some of the things that we have just seen, and then we're going to move over to the next table, and we've still got loads and loads to show you, so please stick with us. We're here till 12 o'clock on Craft Store, but up till 12:30 everywhere else. We have to go off at 12 o'clock on Craft Store, but you can come and join us on the other pages if you want to after that. All right, let's give you a reminder of all of the other things that you've seen. So the Rhododendron Hybrid Collection, you've got 3 15-centimetre pots here. You've got the lilac, the red, the pink. You are saving £15. That is a massive set. That's a third off. And then you're going to get another... Oh, I can't do the maths. You get loads more off. You get another 15% off if you join the club as well. Evergreen colour, perfect time to get them right now because those are going to burst into bloom towards the end of April and going into May. 511673 is your item number. Next up, we've got the tiny pampa. Love this. Just planted 2 of these in my garden myself, but this is the grown-on one. So this is the more established, and it's never going to get too big. We're talking maybe 50, 60 centimetres height and spread. That's it. So container gardeners, this is perfect for you, but you can plant them into the ground as well. I know Sean's got one in a border. I know our head gardener's got a couple in a border. I'm growing a couple of these in pots as well. Great if you haven't got the space for the massive, great big pampas grasses. £2 saving on there, plus the free postage by using that offer code YGTV1425. Now, if you want to do something a little bit different, a little bit exotic, and you want to grow some citrus, then we've got the kumquat here for you. This comes with the fruit attached. So what you're looking at there, that is very indicative of what you would be receiving. Those were the pictures taken by our head gardener about 2 months ago when he went on the sourcing trip to Sicily to buy these, and they are laden with fruit. They are evergreen as well. The fragrance from the blossom you get is incredible, but the taste from the fruits is also delicious as well. They just need a bit of winter protection, so great to grow in pots. 340104 is the item number, 25% discount, £10 saving on that one. Use your code though to get that discount and get your free postage. Next up, we have got for you, the azalea. Yes, the pink spider. Brand new to us this week, by the way. New this season, just brought into the nursery, and this is a wonderful evergreen plant. Again, covered in buds, just like the rhododendrons. Should be getting beautiful flowers this year. Love that. I mean, it's like variegated petals you've got on here, isn't it? Those lovely pink centres and then the white edges to them. They look fantastic, and pollinators absolutely adore them. Dappled shade position, acid soil, and keep them watered. 511720 is the item number, and it's got a 13cm pot on there, so really nicely established. Gaillardia is up next. This is the Arizona red shades. Ooh. I mean, look at that. That's just beautiful, isn't it? And then, actually, as that matures, look, you get these bright yellow tips on them as well. I would definitely be planting these alongside Rudbeckia, would look amazing, or maybe near Bowles Mauve, where you've got that purple, because I think the purple, the reds, the pinks, they work really nicely together, don't they? 560854. Oh, it's a perennial, by the way. It's a perennial plant. It's not an annual. This will come back for you year after year. 560854 is the item number, and it's a half price deal with £15 off, plus another 15% when you join the club. Free postage as well when you use that code. Let's get to the phlox, shall we? We're calling it the Pop Stars mix. I quite like that. Look at the colours. Look at the Matt's naming pop stars in my ear. Bright colours, a wonderful mixture of colours included. Firework displays from those flowers. And these are low-growing, ground cover plants, great for filling up those gaps in borders, suppressing those weeds. I mean, plant something beautiful before the weeds come through. Nobody likes weeding, except me. I do quite like the job of weeding. But nobody likes weeding, do they? So let's get some beautiful plants in there. And they flower for quite a while as well. 400548 is the item number, 12 plug plants included. Next up, the lavender, of course. You're getting 12 plug plants. If you want to create a whole lavender hedge sort of border, this is the one to go for. You can plant these out now. They're winter hardy. They are drought tolerant. They're not fussy on soil type. They're fantastic for pollinators. It's got the RHS Award of Garden Merit. This ticks so many boxes. 480396 to go for your 12 plug plants. Use the code to get the £5 saving and your free postage as well. And then we had that salvia, the Amistad. Lovely, tall, fast-growing, gorgeous plant for you. Adam was saying somewhere nice and bright and sunny for this, nice free-draining soil. They're not going to do well in clay, so not in my garden, but maybe in yours. You're going to get 3 9cm pots there with the £10 saving, and the item number you need is 560851. And of course, we cannot do a review without telling you about our fantastic compost, the premium professional compost that will change the way you garden. It will turn you from a great gardener to an exceptional gardener, because this is packed with amazing ingredients in here. Oh, look, we've got the heavy duty pots in there as well. Those are they available on the show? Of course they are. They're always available, aren't they? Oh, there they are. Look, 130011 if you want the heavy duty pots. I counted mine up the other day. I think I've got 16 of them. 16. I mean, I keep adding. I like them. I love them lined up. I've got all my grow your owns in them. I've got a cordyline growing. I've got a rose bush growing in them. And I really like seeing them all lined up. They're not the prettiest of pots, but I don't care. They are brilliant. They do the job. They got the handles on. I can move them around really easily. You know, I've got other decorative pots that I use for other things, but I do love those pots. They're amazing.
I'm going to, when I got home yesterday, my packet of cucumber, Socrates seeds had arrived.
Nice.
And I grow these in my greenhouse in those great big 30-litre pots.
Yes.
And they're brilliant because cucumbers go berserk, you know, great big kind of sprawling sort of plants. And the good thing is, because there's so much compost in there, and cucumbers needs lots of water, they don't dry out quick.
Absolutely. I want to know who's got the most, who's got the most? Who's got the most heavy-duty pots? So anybody that's watching right now, that's been regular watching us for a while, how many of the heavy-duty pots have you got?
How many did you say you got?
16.
Oh, you
I don't think I've got
You weigh like me. I've got 9.
Have you got 9?
I've got 9, yeah.
I reckon there's going to be other people out there who've got way more. I think Sean definitely beats me. I think he's got way more heavy-duty pots than that. But let us know. Let us know in the chat how many of those heavy-duty pots have you got. Right, we're bringing you over to this table, and now we've got some fantastic options on here for you. Starting off with the Euphorbia collection. You know I'm a big fan of Euphorbia. I've got Euphorbia minus Merlot, and I adore it. But there's so many different varieties of Euphorbia, and they work beautifully together because of the different colour ranges.
They do. And what I'm going to do, actually, is this is not in the mix of these two, but if you've already got...
You've probably got this, because we brought this one. We brought minus Merlot to you many times. This is the one that I've got. And this is why I'm thinking I need to get these two to go with it.
Yeah, because if you put all those 3 together...
Look at that.
That looks pretty impressive.
It does, doesn't it?
If your minus Merlot's on its own and it's looking for a couple of friends, then go for these other two. We've got the Ascot Rainbow and we've got the Silver Edge. Ascot Rainbow being the one here that's got the more yellowy golden colour, and then Silver Edge with the lovely variegation on the edge of the leaves there. And just like your minus Merlot, they grow in the same position, so you know they can grow sort of a shadier position, because yours doesn't get masses of sun, does it? Your minus
Merlot
Merlot
gets morning sun. It gets a couple of hours in the morning, and then, you know, I mean, it's bright in my garden, but it's shaded for the rest of the day.
So they really are adaptable, versatile plants. They're very drought tolerant. They're sort of frost tolerant. They'll grow in full sun. They'll grow sort of in dappled shade. They're evergreens. They look fantastic all the year through, and they've got these really unusual flowers. And the great thing about euphorbias as well is quite often the flowers contrast really massively with the foliage colour, which is brilliant.
The other thing that I'll tell you, and this is certainly with Euphorbia minus Merlot, I can't talk about the other varieties because I haven't grown them, but I think it's going to be the same. Ladybirds love it.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
The ladybirds that I find on my minus Merlot, they absolutely adore this plant. And ladybirds are fantastic to have in your garden because they eat the aphids.
Yeah, exactly. And that may be what they're actually doing, you know, on your plant. You know, they're clearing up those plants. They're taking the aphids away, which is really, really important. Yeah, we need ladybirds as well, because like, all our insects are really kind of under threat. But you can grow these in pretty much any soil as well. They're not really fussed about soil. In fact, at work over the years, I've seen euphorbias self-seed themselves in crevices between paving, on really clay soil, sandy soil, poor soils. They're one of those kind of plants, it's just what I call a good doer.
Yeah.
And once they're flowered, you can leave the flower heads on for a little while if you want to, and then eventually you can just clip those off. But all the year through, they look good, even in the winter time.
That's what I like about them, is that they do look good all year round, and they sort of change their foliage colour as well, or certainly minus Merlot does. Let's take that one out. So people...
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do actually.
That's what you're getting. It's the 2 9cm pots you're getting, but they do seem to change their foliage colour as well throughout the year, so they're super interesting. It's 2 9cm pots you're getting there. You're saving 25% off the price. It comes down to $14.99 by using the code, and you're also going to get free postage. And yes, of course, it's a rooty beauty.
Look at that.
That's the quality that you're getting from us at YouGarden. Make sure you're using the code YGTV1425. We're moving back over next to, this one's been a favourite for YouGarden customers for many, many years. We brought this when we used to work on the previous shopping channel, and people used to go nuts for this one. It's Barnsley Baby.
It is.
Lavatiera can get quite big. It can sprawl quite a lot, can't it?
Yeah.
It can get quite sprawling. But Barnsley Baby was bred specifically to be compact.
Yeah, and I totally adore it, because like you just mentioned, Bex, I remember back in the 80s there was all of us, you know, sometimes every so many years a certain plant comes out and everybody goes nuts for it. You know, you kind of see it everywhere. Remember when the pink flamingo willows came out?
Yeah.
And it was one of those sort of plants everybody had. Well, it was the same with these. But the original kind of varieties of these used used to get really, really huge, massive, and then they would split and fall over and just become a mess. But what they've done now, they've taken Barnsley and they've turned it into Barnsley Baby, and you get all the fantastic attributes of a Lavatera, but nice and compact. This is a plant that's fantastic in a pot or a container. It only gets to a couple of 2 or 3 feet tall. It flowers for month after month after month. In fact, one of our viewers, I can't remember who it was, last weekend, yeah, sent us a picture of his. And it looked beautiful. It looked really good. You've got lovely upright stems on these as well. That lovely, really green, healthy-looking foliage. These are hardy. They're drought-tolerant. They're frost-tolerant. All they really ask of you is a nice, open, bright, sunny position. That's where they're really, really happy. They're not particularly fussed about soils. You can grow them directly in the garden. You can grow them in the containers. And what you will just get is month after month after month, these really soft pink hollyhock kind of like flowers. And what's really weird about them is the way that the top of the flower stem, it just seems to produce buds forever, doesn't it?
It just keeps going,
you keep thinking, well, it's got to stop producing buds eventually, but they just keep going.
They keep going.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They really are. 510-339. Another half price deal. Oh my word. What are we doing? Another half price deal here, £15 off that one by using the code. And you've got your free postage on there as well, as long as you use that code. Love it. Get your 15% discount, bring that price down to £12.72 by being a club member. We're getting a few comments in now about the heavy duty pots. Infinite, Timothy, I've got 9, need another 4 real soon. Simon says I've only got 8 and I need to buy more. He says I don't just use mine for plants. I've got 2 for recycling, 1 for garden tools, and 1 I use as a laundry basket. I love that. So yeah, I use for recycling and I use for garden tools as well. Oh, and 1 for weeding. Elaine's got 12 heavy-duty pots. I'm still in the lead so far. I'm winning, guys.
You're winning hands down at the moment.
Just at the moment. Let's see. Right, let's move on then, shall we? We've got the Celosia. Do you say Celosia?
Yeah, I say Celosia.
Good.
Yeah.
You say Celosia?
Yeah.
I say... Anyway. Celosia, this is the first flame mix. Gorgeous colour. Do you know what? I was driving in this morning and I was looking, there's this bungalow I always tell you about that I passed that looks amazing. They've nailed it. They've nailed the, flowers coming constantly, one after the other. They've got the lovely... grape hyacinths.
Oh, yeah.
They've got the gorgeous daffodils. The red tulips are starting to come up. And those colour combinations are just perfect. And I think that's exactly what we're getting in here.
Yeah, we are. And what you're getting this colour combination throughout the summer as well. So you're getting this, like, sort of festival, really, of colour. I mean, really deep, in-your-face kind of strong colours. And these Celosias just grow well in so many different parts of the garden. They'll do well in containers. They'll do well in troughs. They'll do well in in the beds and borders. All they ask of you simply with these is a nice open sunny position, a well drained but moisture retentive soil. And Stu actually mentioned the other day they look a bit like pampas grass flowers.
They don't look real.
They don't.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
They don't actually look like real living plants, do they?
No.
And I really like that.
But yeah, they're a bit sort of otherworldly. Really.
Yeah.
It's like they were one colour and somebody's come along with some paint spray or dipped them in ink, and kind of just or dye or something can change all the different colours. But they'll look gorgeous like this for month after month after month. They'll come as fantastic, really, really super healthy plug plants. You can see here these are beautifully growing on.
I'm intrigued actually whether because you've got different colour stems. Can you see the difference of the colour on the stems? I'm intrigued as to whether those colours match up to the actual colour of the plant.
Joe, that could well be, because you find that with hyacinth bulbs, because quite often hyacinth bulbs are a bluey colour, have blue flowers, the pinky ones have pink flowers, so it could well be.
So, hang on, GH and I are reddish coloured stems, GH and I... Oh, it doesn't tell me.
But that's probably quite likely, Bex.
I reckon it probably is.
Because sometimes, obviously, the pigments that colour the flowers could well colour the leaves on the plant at the same time.
It's interesting when you look at them and you can see the different coloured stems.
But they're really beautiful, they are as well. The only thing I wouldn't do, normally we talk about pinching out, but I wouldn't.
You wouldn't with these?
I wouldn't pinch these out, because I think with these you want that central kind of growth. In fact, a common name for this is coxcomb, is their sort of common name.
Coxcomb?
Coxcomb, yeah.
Cot. Or cock?
I think it's coxcomb. I think it refers to is it a part of a chicken? Like so I think it might be that.
That bit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's supposed to look like that thing a chicken's got on their head, I believe.
401516 is the item number if you'd like to go for the Celosia First Flame Mix. 12 plug plants included in there. And we have got the £11 and 4 pence is the club price. So those can go straight out?
No, I would actually, just keep those going.
Just grow them on a bit.
Grow them on a bit, but avoid putting them out before the last frost, Once the last frost has gone, they can go out.
Then you can get those out. Yeah. Brilliant. We're growing loads of things on at the moment, aren't we? So easily done. Just put them into some 9-centimetre pots. Make sure you're using your code YGTV1425 to get your free postage on that one as well. Let's bring you over to the begonias. I mean, do we need to tell you anything about begonias? I think that's the wrong video, Matt. That's geranium parades you've put in there, my lovely.
But these actually, sorry, Bex, trim your foot
right.
there.
You can kick me out of the way.
I think when Peter came in the other day, he described these as your little sort of bedding begonias on steroids. That was that. I was going to avoid using the word steroids.
Brilliant.
But
it's all right.
The head gardener said it, so we can say it. But yeah, so you grow the little bedding begonias, the semperflorans, that get to about 5 or 6 inches tall. Well, these are pretty much identical, except these ones get taller. These get to about 30 centimetres tall. So these are bigger, they're bolder, they're kind of, got more flowers on. You can almost grow like a little hedge of these if you want to. Once they start flowering, which is about midsummer, they will actually flower all the way through summer, all the way into the autumn. And they've got wonderful coloured foliage as well. Some have got that sort of purpley coloured leaves. Some have got those very sort of limey green coloured leaves. And they've got pink, they've got, not yellow, they've got yellow stamens, but they've got pink, they've got red, they've got those really gorgeous, strong colours. And they're just such an easy bedding plant. And another good thing, we normally, when we talk about bedding plants, we always say to you full sun, bright open position.
Yeah, but
these do well in shade. Yeah, they like shade. So if you're growing Busy Lizzie beacon, for example, they'll do really well with them, but they don't have to be in shade. They're versatile. They can be in shade or sun.
Yeah.
They can be in beds or borders or pots, but what you'll get is months of fabulous colour, no deadheading, colour from flowers and from foliage.
This is the thing about begonias. Okay, love the flowers, but also love the foliage. You get all of those different colour mixes going on within the foliage as well, which is what makes these really, really interesting. I mean, check out that bright... Let me get my hand in. Check out that bright red one there.
It's already got, that's amazing. It's already flowering. Even before you planted it, it's got a flower on it already. It's
fantastic. And this is what I thoroughly enjoy about begonias. This is why I think pretty much every year I will have begonias in my garden. And there's so many different varieties. This one is a beautiful one. 400396 is the item number, saving £3 on there, plus you're getting your 15% discount, $14.44 for club members, and free postage when you use the code YGTV1425. Last one on this table will be our... look at the buds!
I know.
Oh, my word. Right, it's the Rhododendron Bloombux. It's called Light Pink, and I just spotted... I mean, they've all got buds. This one's particularly buddy. Hello, buddy. Aren't you a lovely guy? Bud, 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 bud. Loads and loads and loads of buds on there. And those are going to turn into these.
They are, and these are phenomenal.
And they've all gotten...
Look at that.
I don't know what she's doing. Is she happy or is she confused?
I think she's not really looking at the plant. She seems to be, do I leave my husband or do I stay? It's kind of look on her face. It's got that kind of look. But
what is he doing now?
Yeah, and drinking red wine first thing in the morning as well.
I know, what are you playing at?
Shocking. But yeah, I mean, these are just phenomenal. These are beautiful. These are compact. And when we talk about Bloombux, we're talking about kind of, the box balls or the sort of little box hedges that we grow. They've got this similar kind of habit. They've got that lovely domed, rounded habit. These are evergreen as well, so they look good all the year through. But in the spring, roundabouts again, sort of Chelsea Flower Show time, they just explode into these heads of fabulous, soft, pink flowers, and the whole plant is smothered in these flowers. These are really impressive, really beautiful, really remarkable. If you've got acid soil in your garden, you can plant them straight into the soil, but if you haven't, they make fantastic container plants, as you can see there. Yeah, that's sort of in the largest part. Yeah, the confused lady. She's like, but yeah,
what am I doing here?
Yeah. But yeah, the plant is. I don't think you need to be in the picture really.
No.
But you know,
not really. No.
The plant itself is absolutely fabulous, and the quality of the plants we're sending out to you means that this year you will get those displays because, as Bex just said, these are bursting with buds, and they're in another 4 or 5 weeks' time. Those buds will be opening, and you will get this look. So if you're going to grow them in a container or a tub or a planter or something, use the ericaceous compost, water them, and then feed them occasionally with our citrus feed.
Yeah, brilliant. 511709 is the item number. 3 10.5 centimetre pots, £5 saving on there, 21.22 in the club. Use your code. I know I keep saying it. I'm sorry if I'm boring everybody, but this is for the new people that join us. They might not know. There is a code that gives you free postage that unlocks the savings. We've also got a club where you can save 15% off your orders as well, whether that's via the website or via us here on YGTV. Quick question from Victoria, actually. Question: when you have personal codes, where do they go on the website? So there are 2 boxes when you place your order on the website. There's one that says, do you have an offer code? That's where that one goes, the YGTV 1425. Or if you get offer codes on your emails and things that get sent to you, that's where you would put it. There's another one that says, do you have I think it says, do you have a voucher? That's where you enter your personal codes, like your £5, because you get £20 worth of vouchers that break down to £5 each. That's where you enter that code in there. So offer code is this one here, and then do you have a voucher is where you'll enter those other ones.
And is that where you'd use your free P&P £6 ones as well?
Same place as well, yeah. And you have to work out which one works best for you, because you can't double up on vouchers basically. So you have to work out which one you're going to use to get the best value. Hope that helps, Victoria. Let us know if you're struggling. Matt might be able to show us because he can do a little link up so we can show the website. Woodfield. Hi guys, I've got a pair of bare root standard roses. One arrived brown and with dead regrowth. Potted them both up. The green one has already started growing, but the other nothing. Is this normal? I would say that that's potentially a problem, Woodfield. What you can do is you can do a little scratch test, can't you?
Yeah.
He, she, sorry. They, Woodfield. So do a little scratch with your nail on the stems and on the base. And if you can see some green underneath, then there is life in that plant. But if there's nothing there, then I would definitely get back in touch with customer services, explain the issue. They will fix it. Our customer services team are amazing, and we want you to be happy. We'd love you to want to come back and buy from us again. So obviously, just get in touch with the customer services team, and they will look into that for you. And
the stem should be smooth, shouldn't it? If it's smooth and glossy looking, it's alive. But if it's gone dry and a little bit ridged, yeah, it may need replacing.
It may need replacing, and all of our winter hardy plants. Well, obviously, if we've dispatched something that's not good, we would always replace that. But certainly, all of our winter hardy plants come with a lifetime guarantee. So, you know, rhododendrons, azaleas. You're looking for a snowflake symbol on the website when you're looking for a winter hardy product, and that will come with that lifetime guarantee. All right. It's Oleander season, everybody.
Yay.
Regulars, I know that you know all about this. Brand new people, you're in for a treat here because oleanders, oh my word, these are beautiful, aren't they?
We're off to sunny Spain.
Yes, we are, but
Definitely.
In our own gardens.
In our own garden, yeah.
Now, we've got 3 different colours for you, so before you make your mind up, you're looking at the red, but we've also got a gorgeous yellow and we've got a white one coming up as well.
Yeah, and these just scream holidays,
They
Mediterranean,
do.
Tropical places, exotic places. You know, you can bring all that lovely feeling of the holiday into your garden. Oleanders are becoming more and more of a popular plant in the UK. Where I live in Swaffham, I've been there for about 6 years now, and there's 2 gardens there that have had oleanders in since I moved there, and they've got through all the winters since I've been in Swaffham. They've been flowering their socks off in the summertime. Admittedly, they're both in a lovely, sunny, well-drained shelter position. This is where they're happiest in your garden, and they grow on quite poor soils as well. They don't need really rich soil. They'll grow on sandy soils, stony soils, gravelly soils, quite poor soils as well. Hey, look at that, soils that are not very fertile, but what you're getting is these fantastic plants. And another tip that Peter, our head gardener, actually said when he came in during the week, when Bex picked that one up, you noticed there's like 3 groups of 3 stems.
Yes.
Peter said if you wanted to,
you could separate
you
them.
could separate them.
Yeah,
You could get them, just literally split those into 3 separate plants, and you'd end up with 3 plants from one pot. You could do that if you wanted to, because these are all
groups like that.
And he was explaining when they breed these, apparently they're bred down in Sicily. And what they actually do, they just actually cut a section of oleander off a tree, kind of as thick as your thumb, or even a little bit thicker than that, and then literally they just push it into the compost, and you think, well, that's never going to work. It's just a bit of stick, but then it shoots, it grows. So what you're actually getting is you're getting these to grow from already quite mature wood, which is why we can get them to flower from such a small size.
Amazing.
And we've got these 3 absolutely beautiful colours on here as well. You've got that evergreen foliage, which is really, really shiny and beautiful. And once they start flowering, they'll keep flowering for month after month after month, right up into the autumn. In fact, my mum's had one of these outside of her back door. It's been there for about 12 years now. She never covers it, she never fleeces it. But we'll be honest, it is in a really nice sheltered corner.
Yeah, we say hide it to -5 once they get established.
Definitely.
So nice sheltered position, grow it in a pot, then you can easily move it to protect it. I was going to say something about it and I've completely forgotten what it was. It was really important.
They love by the pollinating or don't eat them.
Don't eat them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not wise to go out and nibble on your plants. They are toxic, so you don't eat them. And don't let your pets eat them either, basically. So you've got a £5 saving. It brings it down to £19.99, £16.99 if you are in the club. And you just need to choose your colour. So everything that we've said about the red one applies to the beautiful yellow one that we've got here. We've given them names this year. So Janok, or we've got Angiolo Bucci. I don't know where the names have come from. I nailed it, apparently.
I'm not bothering with the names.
We've got the yellow one. Oh, cream yellow, we're calling that one. Oh, that's quite bright yellow. I'm not sure it comes out quite that bright yellow, to be honest. I mean, it's a real picture, so it must do somewhere.
Yeah, I'm with you on that bit. I'd say it's probably not quite as, because that's like a jasmine or a butter yellow, isn't it? I would say it's yellowish, but perhaps not. More like that. Yes.
That's the colour that you get from these. That must have been a particularly bright day or something or other when that one was taken. An elegant yellow is what I would say about these ones. And then we also have the white one on here. Now what I will say, so the yellow one sort of starts, it's funny because it opens, you've got apricot coloured buds on there that open up to that yellow. And on the white one, they start out a sort of greeny colour and then open up and turn into the white flowers. Yeah, so it's actually really interesting, it is weird, isn't it? Journey that you go on with the buds to the flowers. Yeah, because if you got that home and you open the box, the first thing you're going to think is, they've sent me the wrong colour. Yeah. I didn't ask for that colour. But yeah, as the flowers open out, they do sort of change into the colour they're actually meant to be. But these are just beautiful. They're just glorious. They just flower for month after month after month. They're great for pots and containers. So they'll grow in quite poor soils. One of the gardens I look after in Swaffham where I live, they've got an oleander at the end of their house, and it's right up against the wall at the end of their house, south facing. The soil is as dry as bones. It's really poor soil as well. And this oleander's been there about 5-6 years, and it's absolutely loving it. It's flourishing. So, once you've got them established, they can really do well in the UK. Yeah, so Anne's just saying, I bought some, I'm assuming you're talking about this, Anne, to be honest with you. Oh, hang on, Millie said something. Okay, so Millie said, hello, I have 2 oleanders, but the leaves are all brown and crinkly. They are both in full sun. She was thinking of getting rid of them. Anne saying I bought some last year and they aren't looking great, even though I put fleeces on to protect. Now, what I would say is, just woo before you throw anything away. Millie, woo. Millie, did you protect them in winter? Because obviously these are young plants, and if you got them last year, they're definitely going to need that extra protection in winter. Adam's talking about his mum's plant that she's had for many years, so obviously it's a bit more mature, which means it's a bit more hardy. Now, if they are looking a bit sad right now, I would just hold fire. I would. They're still young plants, so they might get a little bit more affected by the cold. But as the days get warmer, as it starts to warm up, you might see that, well, you will hopefully definitely see that you're going to see some really healthy plants come in. Should she prune any bits back? Well, funny you say that, because in my old house where I used to live, I had a pink flowering one, which was doing really, really well. And we did have a bit of a harsh winter. And it did turn the ends of the stems kind of a bit dry and crispy, but I found by about the middle of May, further down there were gorgeous new shoots coming. Shoots. And then as soon as those new shoots came, I just chopped the top dead bit off, and by kind of September, well, even sooner, July, August, September, it started to flower again. So it's not unusual. Sometimes if you get a bit of a cold snap for the
ends of the stems to die back a little bit.
Plants.
Yeah, and that's common on a lot of plants. That happens to a lot. It can happen to jasmines. It can happen to campsis. So it's a bit. You just have to be sort of play the waiting game a little bit this time of year, and then normally by May when we get the warm nights as well and the really long days, they reshoot and off they go again.
So hold fire. Because some things do look a little bit sad at the moment, but as we move through the seasons, hopefully that will work for you. I'll keep everything crossed, but just be patient and wait. Amanda, hello to you on Facebook. Amanda says she's got 20 heavy-duty pots. Amanda, you're beating me. We have a new winner. Congratulations. Yes, the heavy-duty pots are fantastic, aren't they? This is what we were talking about earlier. The details are on the screen if you want to get hold of those. We'll talk a little bit more about them in a little while as well, if you're wondering what on earth are these people talking about. No more questions. So let's move on to the next item we've got here for you, which is the Ceanothus Thriciflorus repens, but this one is on the trellis. So we can actually train this to continue climbing. Traditionally, it's a shrub. It's and it's great to grow in a border or even create a hedge out of it. But that doesn't stop us from training it to grow upwards.
Absolutely.
It's not a natural climber. It doesn't cling. You have to help it.
Yeah, you need to help it. So you put some support up. But I used to look after a garden for a lady in Buckhurst 10 years ago, and she had a ceanothus that was trained along her kitchen wall, and it was absolutely fantastic. And it sort of came out from the wall about sort of a foot or so from the wall. And we basically every year after it had flowered, I used to trim it back, keep it in shape, and it looked amazing. So you can grow them as a climber. I mean, sometimes people do things like pyracantha. Again, that's not a natural climber, but people trim them back against the wall and they will kind of, give that kind of look. But what you'll get with these is evergreen foliage, and then in the spring you get blue, not purple, not mauve, not lilac, blue. Proper blue flowers. There's very few flowers that are properly blue. These are blue, true blue flowers, which will stay on the shrub for a good 4 to 6 weeks, adored by the pollinating insects. They have quite a soft fragrance as well, the flowers. I'm not going to say it's like out there like gardenia and jasmine, but if you get...
You have to get up to them, don't you?
But it's a kind of quite a soft, pleasant sort of fragrance to them. These are hardy down to about -10. So you can grow them up, you can grow them as ground cover, you can leave them to grow as a shrub. You can just clip them back a little bit after they're flowered, and then the new growth they make will give you the flowering wood for the following year. But they're just a real joy, and funnily enough, they will actually grow pretty much in the same position as your oleanders.
Nice.
These like full sun, these like well drained, these don't mind poor soils, and they're also evergreen. So you could grow all of these in the same kind of area. You
could indeed. Is this a question from you, Matt? Matt's asking, could we grow this in a tower pot?
You could try it, to be honest. I wouldn't say no. I think that's a possibility.
We have been talking about this because we've got the trellis. We've also got one that's grown in like a pyramid shape. And we were talking about actually trying this out and growing it in a tower pot. It's not a natural climber, but this would give it really nice, easy support. If you placed it in a sunny spot, the thing with Thriciflorus repens is that it only gets to 1.5 meters in height, whereas other ceanothus can get really, really tall. If you planted this in a slightly more shady spot, it can still get tall like other ceanothus. It needs to be in the sun to keep it shorter.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you were to put it in a tower pot and then put that tower pot somewhere sunny, you could.
I think
you'd have to maintain your pruning quite regularly.
You would,
wouldn't you?
But I think also, Bex, this one has got more pliable stems than some of the other ceanothus as well. So I think it would be more adaptable to train. So yeah, you could do it this one, or do we still have the one, the cone-shaped one on the pyramid? The pyramid one.
We do. It's just not in this show. So you pay postage on that one. It's available on the website, and if you want to get it, but there would be a postage attached to that.
So what I would do if you were going to do that, I'd probably carefully take this one off of the trellis and then just sort of gently fix it onto the base of the tower pot to give it a start, and then gradually as it grows, keep training it through while the growth is nice and young, because it's more supple then, less likely to snap. And yeah, goodness me, I think you stumbled onto something there, Matt. I think I think within the first couple of years, somebody is going to show us their first tower pot that is just a column of blue ceanothus.
We were talking about it the other day, and I said, well, I have actually got 2 tower pots that I'm currently not using, but I want to put Thunbergia in them this year, but I might sacrifice one and just do some Thunbergia in one, and I might get myself one of these and do it, and then I can show you guys next year maybe. Yeah. But it's ready to burst into bloom. 5-6 weeks worth of colour you get from it. Pollinators adore it, and it's award-winning with its RHS Award of Garden Merit. £21.24, 17 centimetre pot is what it comes in. You want to pay the lower price, so you want to join the club. Here's a little bit of film to show you why you should join the club.
If you love your garden as much as we love ours, then why not join the YouGarden Discount Club?
The club has been running for many years, and it's where thousands of our customers enjoy a whole host of benefits to ensure that they get the most out of their gardens for less.
Now is a great time to join the YouGarden Discount Club, as the benefits have just got even better. So what do you get when you join the club?
Firstly, our members will get bigger discount rates all year round. So you'll now receive 15% off our range of plants and accessories, and that's on top of any other discounts you might have.
For those bigger investments, such as garden furniture or lawnmowers, for example, you now get 7.5% discount on all of our outdoor living and machinery range.
In addition to the ongoing discounts, you'll also get more voucher value when you join or renew your club membership. We will send you 4 £5 product vouchers, which you can redeem throughout the year against the cost of your orders.
And as a new added benefit, you will now receive 2 free P&P vouchers, which can be redeemed against the cost of your shipping.
Club members get priority access to exclusive offers and brand new products at our best prices.
We'll keep you up to date with fantastic advice and top tips from our grown experts and professional gardeners to make sure that you get the most from your new purchases and existing plants. The best way to join the club is with our auto-renewal subscription. You'll pay £10 per year, then at the end of the year we will automatically renew your membership to ensure you retain all of your benefits. Plus, the price you pay when you join will never go up for as long as you remain a member, and that's a guarantee.
And remember, when you join the club, you will start saving from the very first order you make, as the discounts will be applied immediately. So with all that the YouGarden Discount Club has to offer, why not join us and start saving today?
We'd love to help you make the most of your garden for less with the YouGarden Discount Club.
So there you go, those are the reasons to join the club. If I haven't banged on about it enough, hopefully it is now clear. I'm so sorry. I just had a little handful of cashew nuts. So sorry, but yes, hopefully that shows you all the reasons why you should become a club member. We're going to talk about the compost again because everybody needs this. We're constantly going to be restocking on this because we've got so many jobs to do in the garden. But I would like to say a big thank you to you all, first of all, for joining in the chat on YouTube, on Facebook. It's always nice. You make this show, basically, so it's lovely to have your input and your comments and your questions. I'm going to dive into the emails because we haven't looked at any of those. And Ali G, first of all, has asked for some advice.
Ali G, it's brilliant. G. Sounds like a pop star.
She's asked for some advice on her hellebore, the Christmas carols. So she's saying, please give us some advice. These flowers have just given up after many months. Do I prune or just leave to die back? It's about the right time for hellebores to start going over now. It's starting to get a little bit too warm for them, so they will start just going over, won't they?
Yeah, yeah.
They're looking a bit droopy. I would probably cut the flowers off, would you?
Yeah, I mean, it might need a little bit of a drink as well, believe it or not, because we've had so much dry weather recently, some containers are already drying out, so you could try and give it a little drink and see if the flowers perk up, but you know, they do, what happens is they do form quite big seed heads on the flower heads as well, which are quite heavy, and they can pull the flowers down. But you know, I agree with Bex. I think personally, I would just take all those flowers off now.
Get rid of the flowers, because then it can conserve some energy.
Exactly.
It can put its energy into sort of roots and foliage, and then get ready for its next flowering season. Are we able to show the picture, Matt, or are you struggling? Have you got technical gremlins? I'm going to do that, look, so that you can see hopefully on the screen. That's Ali's picture.
And then what I would do, once you've taken the flowers off as well, I see you've got it in a container, give it a feed. Give it a feed with our Blooming Fast, a nice liquid feed, which will kind of give it a boost. And then what you'll notice is, as we move a little bit later into spring, early summer, you'll start to see some brand new leaves come up. Once you've got your lovely new leaves, then just trim off the older leaves underneath, and then come next autumn, winter, Christmas time, you'll start to see those beautiful flower shoots come back again, and it will look marvellous all over again.
Stu has sent us some pictures. Lovely Stu, who's having a weekend. How nice, he's got a weekend. He's normally here, but Matt is joining us in the control room today. But Stu, oh, hang on. Stu has sent us some lovely pictures from his garden.
Is that little red?
It's a Photinia, isn't it? It's a red robin.
Yeah, it's the baby one, is it? Is it little red?
I think it must be a little red robin. Oh, some lovely little... They're primulas, aren't they?
Yeah, they're primulas.
Daffodils in the background.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's
I like
a cute
that one.
little pot there. Look at that.
That's a happy death.
Isn't it? So I can't remember what we call these, but I've got they're primula, but I just can't remember the variety. I've got so many of these growing in my garden at the moment.
Yeah, they're not what I'm thinking of, but they do look a bit like the auricular flowers that you get as well.
We had
some
them,
of those,
which is why I've got them. We had them in here.
They're lovely. I love those ones with that little
edging. I like that
edging.
edging that's on there. So thank you, Steve, for sending your pictures. Appreciated.
Do you remember those double ones we used to do? They were gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh, love them. They'll be back in the autumn.
Oh, Elaine sent some pictures as well. Hang on. These are ones I can scroll through. She's got a Kojo no Mai going there. So wonderful Kojo no Mai. I got 2 yesterday. I got the standards. I'm so excited to get those planted out. So we've got beautiful Kojo no Mai. What is that?
That looks like an exocorda to me, that one.
Oh,
or
yes.
is it bridal reef, I think?
Yeah, that was gorgeous.
Really beautiful shrub.
And then, beautiful tulips.
Love those.
Are those the peachy ones? Can't remember what we called them. Those look like the ones I grew last year as well.
In another couple of weeks, it's going to be tulip mania, isn't it?
It's tulip season, absolutely.
Yeah, they're just everywhere. They're just getting to that stage where the petals are just colouring up, aren't they? In another couple of weeks, boom, they just look amazing.
Dingo sent some pictures. He says, morning, Bex and Adam. Things are starting to show at last. Plus got 120 marigolds to put out later. I've more plants than a garden centre. Cheers, Dingo. Oh, wow. Hang on, I'm just scrolling in.
Oh, that's a Lithidora.
He's got the Lithidora going.
En masse. Loads.
And you can really spot that, look. Those lovely bright blue. That's that gorgeous Lithidora that he's got in pots there. But check out all of those plants.
I like the one in the pink pot. Now, what are those pots? You'll know, Bex, I can't remember. I've got that pot. What's it called, that one?
Yeah, I don't know. Stu normally tells me the name of the pots.
Yeah,
Matt's learning them all. It'll be Matt telling us soon. Give him a few more weeks. He'll learn all the names.
That is such a beautiful, beautiful kind of mixture there as well.
Yeah, it's lovely,
of plants. I love that when people do all different things in pots, and it's just really exciting.
We've got another picture to show you as well that Dingo sent. Hang on, it's not one I can scroll through. I just need to do this.
What is that pot called? I've got it. I'll remember in a minute.
Yeah, Dingo, look at this.
Hey.
Oh, looking fantastic. Dingo, isn't this where you have all your lilies growing up? I'm sure that's your garden, and you have millions of lilies that grow up through here. In fact, I think I can see some popping up. All my lilies are starting to come up now.
Yeah, I'm being really careful of mine because I had this area in my garden with lilies last year and I forgot they were there and I decided to hoe it. And the next minute, on top of the soil, was chopped off lily heads.
No.
Yeah, I was gutted, so I'm leaving it this year.
Amanda sent some pictures through.
Oh,
she says
I love
something
that.
about an unknown. Hang on. So we've got lovely daffodils, got lovely tulips going in there. Oh, that's the Euphorbia, that's the miner's mallow. So mine's just starting to open up with those gorgeous flowers as well, Amanda, looking brilliant. An Acer?
Oh, is that Orange Dream?
Could be Orange Dream, that one. Beautiful. And then...
Oh, that is...
that's the Acer as well, isn't it?
No, I think that's a cornus or a dogwood of types, possibly. Yeah, with new foliage coming on it.
Amazing.
Yeah, where it's been pruned back.
I thought it was that Acer that we brought in that's an Acer, but I said it was an Acer.
You're thinking of the Acer Negundo Flamingo. Yeah,
one.
yeah.
That's what it looks like. Grape hyacinths, obviously, in their little pots coming through as well. And that's the last of those pictures from Amanda. All right, well done, everybody. Let's just give them a quick reminder of the beautiful compost. Do you need to stock up? I had a delivery this week. I stupidly only ordered 2 bags, as in 100 litres. Clearly, I need more. What was I thinking?
What was you thinking? Because if you think...
I'm going to use all of that up just planting my 2 Kojo no Mais.
Rule of thumb, Bex, if you think you need 2 bags, order 4. or order 6, yeah, because you just find so many uses for it, and there are multiple uses for this. I use it for my house plants. If you drove past my bungalow at the moment, you'd see on all the windowsills at the front there's seed trays growing all my bedding plants. They're all full of this compost because I get fantastic, really good germination with this. All those little seeds develop really fantastic root systems, really, really easy. You end up that beautiful fibrous root system that you can see there. Sean is potting on his little perennial collection there. It's peat reduced, it's got that composted wood fibre, so it lets the air get to the roots, it lets the roots penetrate down and establish well. It's got a slow release fertiliser, it's nice and pH balanced as well, so it's not too acid, it's not too alkaline. It's got a wetting agent, that means when or if it dries out, it rehydrates really, really quickly, the water doesn't run straight off, and it just comes in these plain white bags, so the value is in the bag, not on the bag. We don't need to put lots of gobbledygook on the bags, because if you just look at our reviews, I mean, this is probably one of it is our most 5-star rated product, and everything I've grown in this has done fantastically well. Within days, sometimes when I have put things in pots, I've transplanted things in pots, and within 2 days, you sort of go to sort of check if the plant's rooted properly, and you just go to pull that plant up a little bit, and already it's rooted in. You can feel straight away that the roots have gripped into this compost, because it is just a sort of compost that plants want to thrive in. They want to get established in, they want to grow their roots in. And when you start off with good plants, you get more flowers, you get more fruit, you get more vegetables, they're more disease resistant, they've got much, much more vigour. You know, Bex and I could sort of wax lyrical about this compost all day, but I mean, obviously, just look at our 5-star reviews, and everybody pretty much kind of watches the show uses this compost. It is phenomenal.
It is phenomenal. 100125 is the item number. Use the code, please, to get your saving and your free postage, and also join the club, because this is where actually you're going to buy compost multiple times throughout the year, and that's where you'll make your money back on your club membership. I mean, you make it back straight away because you get your £20 worth of vouchers, but you save something like, what is it, £2.70 something or other every single time you place an order for that. So I think it's 4 lots of compost, and you paid for your club membership straight away. So it's a really, really good one.
And you did quickly, Bex. Sorry, I didn't miss it, but I remember you said to me, if you want a large amount as well, you can do a bulk order.
Massive quantities, then you can get in touch with customer services. We can do, what do they call it?
Like a pallet load of bags.
Yeah, you can get a big load, and they'll do a special deal on it for you. Tony, I'd like to say a huge apology. I'm so sorry that we've not answered your questions. It's certainly not on purpose, and I can see that you're annoyed with us, and I don't want that. So I'm really, really sorry that we have skipped your questions. Apologies. Yes, your oleanders do look very, very sad. Unfortunately, your oleanders are what we call half hardy. They'll be hardy down to about -5 once they're established. So the new plants, buying them last year, buying them this year, they still need that extra winter protection. I don't think it looks like you gave them that winter protection, so they are looking very sad. I don't think those have made it through, personally. So if you love those oleanders and you want to try again, then you can do, by all means, but you definitely need to give them that winter protection to get them through the first few winters. They don't need masses of watering in the winter, you're absolutely right. They're very drought tolerant once they get established. But yeah, they are looking a bit sad, so I don't think those have made it through, my lovely. He has sent some pictures of his Miner's Merlot, which do look amazing. I know you've been very ill over winter, so it's been really difficult for you to get out in the garden. I'm sorry about that. And as I say, I'm sorry we haven't answered your questions. I will try and do better in future. But we have got these gorgeous Miner's Merlot going in the pots here. And this is Tony, who's done a fantastic job at being a container gardener. You'll be able to see this from... Oh, sorry, you can't do it, can you? Apologies. There's me waiting for the... You can't. I'm so sorry. So you can see from Tony's garden, look, he's got an amazing sort of patio space, but all of these pots and containers, and he's put all the mulch and stuff in here. We've been so impressed with your garden, Tony, so thank you so much for sending those pictures in. Miner's Merlot is looking amazing. All right, must move on. Thank you so much for your emails. Let's go on to, azalea next. Pink Spider. This is the Azalea japonica Pink Spider. Brand new to us, new this season, just been delivered into the YouGarden nursery just in the last couple of weeks, and it is on the YouGarden TV show.
Yeah, and this is phenomenal, Bex. I mean, it's such a stunningly beautiful flower. It's got this kind of like spider-like foliage, if you like, and it's got these petals that are slightly reflexed. In fact, what it actually reminded us of a little bit is those, you know, those lilies that don't have pollen. They've got sort of flowers are pretty similar to that, but you've got the gorgeous, gorgeous pink centre to those petals. You've got that lovely white stripe on the outside. And what you've got with this plant is the fact that it's evergreen. So this looks good all the year through. Now, sometimes in a really, really cold winter, it might shed some of its leaves, but predominantly it will be an evergreen plant. And if I just tilt it forward, you can see there, look how beautiful and glossy that foliage is. It's got that beautiful, shiny, super glossy foliage. This is covered in buds, so hopefully what you see is what you get. Well, not hopefully, what you see is what you get, because this is what we send out to you. So yours should flower for you the first time this year, which will be absolutely phenomenal. Once it becomes established, it's going to flower like this year after year after year. May time, sort of late April, May, Chelsea Flower Show time. If you've got acid soil in your garden, so if you've already got rhodies, azaleas, all that kind of thing thriving in your garden, you can put it straight into the soil with those. If you haven't, you can grow it in pots or containers. Use ericaceous compost, which we have available for you as well. And also, you can feed these. If they're in containers, definitely keep them well watered. Feed them using a ericaceous feed. So if you've got the citrus feed, that will do just as well, because that's for acid plants. And just make sure that where you plant this, whether it's in the garden or in a container, give it some dappled shade. Azaleas don't want to be baked in the full-on midday sun. So if you get some early morning sun, say up to about 10:30, 11 o'clock, that would be fine. Evening sun from about 5 o'clock onwards, that would be fine. But it makes a beautiful, beautiful host plant with things like acers, hostas, ferns, all those kind of things. But you know, to summarise, if you just want something that's going to give you a mind-blowing display for 4 or 5 weeks in spring, beautiful, shiny, evergreen foliage. It's a small plant as well, only getting to sort of 2 or 3 feet tall eventually. Nice, rounded, compact habit, and it'll be a showstopper. It'll be a talking point, this one.
It really will. Sorry, I'm just checking out other pictures that are being sent through. Luke, wow, you've got so many things growing. We'll talk about it in a minute. Azalea Pink Spider in the 13cm pot. It's £11.04 if you are a club member. And get it now. We keep saying this when we bring things in. I love bringing you things that are just starting to bud, because it's the perfect time for you to get it so that you get the beauty of the flowers when they appear. If you wait another 3-4 weeks before you buy this, then you might miss some of that flowering season. So I want you to get it whilst it is in bud so that you can get that beauty. Of course, you'll have it for many years because they are long-lived as well. 511720 is the item number.
And you can see those buds, can't you,
Yeah,
Bex?
there's loads of them.
It's beautiful little buds in the axils of the leaves there. So, yeah, so this will flower for you this year.
All right, Luke, I've got to do it. I've got to do it. Luke, Woodfield. This is what he's got growing. He said, thank you for the advice on the standard roses. It's an absolute pleasure. But that's his little greenhouse that he's got growing right now. Look at all those plants.
Oh, my goodness me.
Wowzer.
Whoa. Oh, they're all in those lovely pots as well.
So many. I love that.
Jiffy pots.
Like they're called the...
Well, I call them Jiffy. That's the trade name, isn't it?
Oh, my word. What is wrong with my
The skelly trays.
Skelly tray and biopots. There you go. Skelly tray and biopots. Matt's calling them squiffy pots. I mean, I think you're a bit squiffy. OK, let's move on to the gaillardia, the grandiflora. This is the Arizona red shades.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of this.
Yeah, because if you've got what they call a hot garden, you know, some people, they grow those hot borders, don't you? You have the reds, you have the oranges, you have the yellows.
I've got a hot garden.
Yeah, it would look really gorgeous in that sort of garden. But this is a really deep orangey red colour. You've got that sort of dark colour in the centre. It's almost like the centre of a poppy, to be honest, that dark centre of a poppy. This is going to be a fantastic landing pad for the pollinating insects. So the bees, the butterflies, all those kind of insects are going to land on this. They're going to want to pollinate this plant. It's got that lovely concentric sort of circle there of deep, deep red, and then you almost like somebody's gone along and just painted the ends of the petals bright yellow. And this is a perennial. This is going to come up year after year after year. It needs a bright, sunny spot, well drained. Don't make this compete with other plants. Try and, you know, give it a little bit of space, because then you'll get the best out of this plant. Deadhead it after it's finished flowering. I wouldn't be surprised if this flowers for about 2 to 3 months. It'll go from midsummer right up into autumn. Grow it in the soil directly or grow it in tubs, pots, containers. Either it'll be happy, but it is just one of those really wow, beautiful, stunning, gorgeous perennials that will be with you for many, many years.
Yeah, indeed. 3 9cm pots, half price deal. Half price. We're taking £15 off that one, and you'll get your 15% discount. Use the code. That's where you'll get your savings, your free postage, and join the club to get your discounts as well. The item number you need is 560854. If you've just started watching and you'd like to order any plants from us, then you go to YouGarden.com. That's the website where you can watch the show as well. You can catch up on previous shows, but that's where you can place your order via the website. Or there is a phone number on the bottom of the screen there, 0844 502 0050. You can actually speak to a human being to place your order as well if you would like to. Let them know you've got a code to use, YGTV1425. They will do that for you, and you'll still get all your savings and your free postage as well. Right, let's carry on with our favourites table. We're going to go on to the Phlox Pop Stars mix. And like, we love phlox anyway. It's a great one for creating a carpet of colour. It's great for filling gaps in borders. If you're like Adam and you hate to see any soil in between the plants, like he's quite anal about it,
I am, definitely, yeah.
The gaps have to be filled. This is a great one to do it with.
It is, yeah. And the good thing about this as well is that it just flower for month after month after month. I've grown bedding phlox in the past, and they have those sort of rounded edged petals, but this is fantastic because it's got those really spiky, really dramatic, almost firework exploding like petals in these deep, deep colours, these purples, the reds, the whites. The flowers almost completely obliterate the foliage. They've got a nice sort of domed, low growing sort of ground cover habit. All these ask of you, plant them somewhere sunny and well drained, with a little bit of moisture at the roots. Can go in containers, can grow in hanging baskets, can grow in pots, can grow in troughs. You can plant these in gravel areas, sandy areas. They can be gap fillers in a sunny part of the garden. But these are unusual, these are different. I've not actually seen these before, and it's not surprising because they're always bringing out completely different new bedding plants. And I think pop stars is a brilliant name for these, because when you think of pop stars, you think of something sort of really out there, sometimes a bit outrageous, in your face, kind of grab the attention, and that's what these will do. And if you've got loads of these planted en masse or in pots and tubs and containers, you will get people ask you, what are those? I've not seen those before, I've never seen them. And that's always great when you grow something a little bit different. They're grown in as little fantastic plug plants for you, which will come out in our little greenhouses. And what you've got as well on those greenhouses, you'll have like an embossed lettering on the plastic of the greenhouses, and that corresponds with the list on the side of the packet, so it lets you know which colour is which. Bex and I, we just whip them out the packet and mix them all up. We wouldn't be bothered. But if you want to know which is which, just follow the code on the box.
There's buds on the top of there.
I know, that's mad.
Pointing out, there's buds on nearly, in fact every one, there's buds in the centre of each of those plants. So those green bits there are going to turn into those beautiful flowers. So really healthy, we've done the hard work, we've grown those on, they're incredibly rooty. They just need to get a home. They need to get planted out. So crack on, get those planted out into your borders, and they will last for many years as well, won't they?
Well, these are bedding ones.
Oh, no, these are the bedding ones. Sorry, apologies. I was getting mixed up with the carpet phlox we do. Yeah,
many months for sure. Yeah, right the way into autumn, won't they?
And
they'll just look phenomenal. And in fact, they'll keep going until the frosts, to finally knock them out.
But they can, so we need to grow these on a little bit before planting out, right? Don't we? Because they are frost tender.
Yeah. So just protect them a little bit. I think we've got a couple of frosts coming up, possibly tomorrow night and Monday night. But
it's a tomorrow night frost.
Yeah, but that's not unusual this time of year. But the outlook is for the milder weather to continue. But what we're going to get soon is we're going to keep the milder weather, but the winds are going more round to the south. So where we're having warm days and cold nights, we'll have warm days and warm nights as well. And
change your job, become a weatherman.
This is going somewhere, and that will be the time that you can then get your bedding plants outside, sort of permanently.
Yeah. And then there's a low pressure coming in, and there's a high pressure.
I tell you, I try and do my best, and I just the grief I get is.
Let's move on, shall we? So you're saving £5 on the phlox there, £12.74 if you are a club member. Next up, we've got the English lavender, the Hidcote, named after that amazing garden in the Cotswolds.
I've got to tell you about that occluded weather front, though, that's causing problems at the moment in Scotland. But yeah, this is your classic English lavender. And what's particularly good about this one is it's got a nice compact habit. Some lavenders, they get really wide. I grew one years ago called Vera that one plant practically covered a whole square metre, and when it rained, all the flowers just flopped and they never really picked up again. This one, even when we get sort of our windy weather or wet weather as we get in summer sometimes, the flowers pop up again. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance on this. Fragrance from the flowers, aromatic fragrance from the oils in the foliage. It's an evergreen one as well. So it looks good in the winter time as well as the summertime. And you've got a really, really deep, deep purple on this. Beautiful, beautiful deep purple coloration. And you can use lavender for so many things you want to use it for as well. I actually tasted lavender ice cream once.
Yeah, it's quite tasty,
I loved it. Yeah. And lavender biscuits, I had those as well.
It's
they
lovely.
Were nice.
It's got a lovely flavour. I mean, it's great if you use it in the right combination.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice. It's 480396 is the item number there. You're going to get 12 plug plants included. Matt wants to know about the ice cream. Was it purple?
Yeah, it was a kind of purpley colour. And to be honest, I thought it was going to taste like toilet duck, but it actually did taste really, really nice.
Right, they're gorgeous little plug plants here. So nice little foliage growth there, but rooty. And this is the important bit. The foliage, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Have a sniff.
I know. That is gorgeous,
Even
isn't
from that bit of growth there, it's amazing the fragrance that you get from these. So I love Hidcote lavender. It's one of the easiest varieties to grow in actual fact. It's trouble-free, disease-resistant, you know, it's not a diva at all. It's very, very simple. Hot, sunny, free-draining soil. Keep it well watered till it gets established. After that, it's drought tolerant.
And there's another magic secret that you always mention, Bex, as well.
Yeah,
with
prune it.
Yeah, keep it clipped back.
Keep it clipped back. Once a year is all it needs. You could do it twice a year if you're really on it, but once a year is all it needs. And you can do that anytime from autumn right the way through till about now, basically. Prune it back to where the green don't go into the woody bit, just to where the previous growth, and that'll keep it really nice and shaped and domed and produce all those beautiful flowers. 480396 is the item number if you'd like to go for the pack of 12 plug plants of the lavender Hidcote. Create your own lovely lavender border or just dot them around your garden in pots or in borders. Let's go on to finally the salvia Amistad. Now you're getting You're getting 3 9cm pots here, and these are healthy, beautiful plants. We've taken a third off the price as well. And you were saying these grow really quickly, don't they?
They do, yeah. By the end of the summer, these could be up to a couple of metres tall.
That's amazing.
And, yeah, these are really dramatic, this kind of salvia. In fact, if you sort of follow Gardener's World, like sort of Monty Don grows these kind of things in the dual garden or the autumn garden, because they look fantastic all the way through the summer, but also autumn, they just look brilliant. In fact, they almost take on a second flush of life in autumn time.
Wow.
And they will keep flowering right up until the frost. But these are hardy. Now, having said that, if you plant them somewhere sunny and well drained, they will get through from winter to winter to winter.
Okay.
But once they start flowering, 3 or 4 months of flower on these is easily to be expected. And once the main flower spike is finished, you can cut that off. You'll get lots of side shoots come up, which will keep the display going. Loved by the pollinating insects. Beautiful big heart-shaped leaves as well. This is a really dramatic statement-like plant. You can grow it in pots and containers as well if you want to, or grow it in the middle of your border. But yeah, this is brilliant. Try this. And I tell you, it does look good with grown in association with something like Verbena bonariensis and things like that.
I was just about to say that as well.
Yeah, that kind of,
because it would work in the same spot, wouldn't it?
Same spot, and you've got that similar colour, and work really well.
Yeah, I like that. 560-851 is 560-851 is the item number if you'd like to go to that. That's 3 of the 9cm pots. We've taken third off the price there. Go to YouGarden.com to place your order. Make sure you're using the code to get your saving. Make sure you're using the code to get your free postage included as well. Right, Craft Store Facebook page. We've still got about 40 minutes left with you, and we've still got some things to show you. So stick around, but we will be live until 12:30 via the YouGarden website, YouGarden Facebook page, and the YouGarden YouTube page. Said a lot of words to YouGarden.
There's a lot of use in that, wasn't there?
So we will be here until 12:30. If crafts or when you disappear, you want to come and jump on and join us on the other ones, you're more than welcome to do that as well. Going to give you a little reminder of some of the items. If you want to make a list to place your order, this is the time to do it. 511709 is the item number for the Rhododendron Bloombux. This is the light pink. Now this is the one that Adam was saying stays nice and compact. So you're going to get this at the perfect time. You've got loads and loads of buds on here, clusters of these really elegant pink colours, and you know they are light pink. That's a very apt description, but very, very elegant. Pollinators love rhododendron flowers as well, and of course you've got the evergreen foliage there all year round. They do need ericaceous compost, which we do have available on the website if you need to get some. All you've got to do here is use your code to get your £5 saving and get your free postage as well. We've got the begonias. This is the big mix, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Look at those. Now, the thing is, you get the lovely large flowers on here and those, you know, bright yellow centres. But this, for me, is about the contrast between the flower and the foliage, because some of those have got that really dark foliage on there and others have got the lighter foliage. And the contrast, it's the perfect foil, the perfect background to really highlight those flowers. Now these sort of tumble a little bit, so you could put these around the edges of hanging baskets, around the edges of pots, but these could go into your borders as well if you want to. They like a semi-shade position. Actually, I mean, they can cope in a bright sun. They can cope in, you know, part shade position as well, and this is why we love begonias so much. They stand up to the British weather. Even if it's rainy, they can stand up to that, and they're really low maintenance. 400396 is your item number for 12 plug plants. Celosia, the first flame mix. I do love this colour. So it's the hot colours, isn't it? And even if you get that purple one in there as well, that combination is incredible. They don't look real. They look like fake plants, but these truly are real plants for you to put in your garden. I think these will be a standout mix for you. 401515. Do you know, I've never grown Celosia. Maybe I should have a go at those this year. They're pretty easy as well. They just want a sunny spot, don't they? 12 plug plants, £11.04, as long as you're a club member. Make sure you join the club, please. And make sure you use the code to get your free postage on there as well. Oh, Caroline's just won. She's got 26 heavy-duty pots. Well done, Caroline. You're in the lead. Lavender mallow, the Barnsley baby. It's back in the shed. We know we love laventeras. There's something really elegant, beautiful about them, but laventeras in general can get really sort of leggy, quite sprawling. A lot of us don't have the space for them. Barnsley baby stays nice and compact. It's perfect for growing in containers. Pollinators adore it, and it just keeps going. It flowers for ages, opening in succession along the stems as well. Half price deal, £15 saving. Use your code, please, to get your discount and your free postage as well. More roadies for you, but this one is the hybrid collection. You've got the 3 15cm pots. You've got the lilac, the red and the pink. I love that landing pad. The markings on the petals there, telling the bees and butterflies where they need to land. Evergreen foliage, need ericaceous compost, but low maintenance and slow growing. Put them in a dappled shade position. I think it's rhododendrons. They don't like morning sun. If you can avoid morning sun on rhododendrons, that's ideal. But essentially, just make sure they're in a part shade position and they will be fine. 511673 and a £15 saving on that one. Hold me closer, tiny pampas. Yeah, I can't sing. This one is the one that's been grown on, though. This is the one that's in the 3-litre pot. We have the 9 centimetres available. Maybe you want to go that way. I've done that. But if you want to skip to the good bit, this is the one to go for. This has already been grown on, so it's nice and mature already. It can be grown in borders, it can be grown in pots, but it doesn't get massive. We're talking maybe 50 or 60 centimetres height and spread. That's it. You've got the look of a big pampas, but you've got it as a small one. You can even still cut the plumes and use them for your, dry them, use them for interior decorations or just as tickling sticks if you like. 561341 is the item number, and it's £15.29 in the club. Next, we've got the Californian lilac on a trellis. This is the Ceanothus Thrysophloris repens. I point out the variety because it's important to know there's lots of different varieties out there, and it makes me sound fancy. No, right, this one, if you put it somewhere sunny, it will stay shorter than other Ceanothus, only growing to about 1.5 metres in height. If you put it in a more shady spot, it will still grow really tall. So you've got the option here. Now this has been trained onto a trellis. Yes, you can have this as a climbing plant. You could grow it as a standalone shrub if you want to, but this one's been trained onto the trellis and you can continue to grow it up something. So if you were to add a trellis to this, you know, the side of your house or a wall or, you know, the garage wall, something like that, you could then cover this in these beautiful blue blooms. Great time to get it now. It's going to burst into bloom in the next couple of weeks and it's going to be covered in those blue flowers. Pollinators adore it. It's got the award of garden merit. It's a proven performer. 511 152 is the item number and it's £21.24. Oleander season is back upon us. Now these are half hardy. Millie did admit she didn't give hers any winter protection. That is probably why they're looking sad, Millie. You do need to protect them in winter. They're hardy down to about -5 once they get established, but you need to get them established first. They have these beautiful blooms on here. They are stunning and they last all summer long. They're in bloom right now. These are, oh, are these the live shots from the other day? No, I think this is last year's shots, but we were out in that tunnel just the other day and there was loads of flowers on there. They're starting to open up, but you've got lots of buds appearing and they flower from now and they can flower right the way through to September, October time. Low maintenance, you just got to do a little pruning, a little deadheading, keeping those flowers coming all summer long. They do have a lovely fragrance to them and the plants are evergreen as well. Remember the half hardiness, -5 when they're established, so give them winter protection, move the pots in winter, and that will ensure they come back for you in the following years. So you just got to choose your colour. They're all the same price, I think. You've got the red there, you've got the white one here, which is 680058, $16.99 in the club, or we've got the yellow one available for you as well, which I believe, yes, is £16.99 as well. All of those have got that £5 saving and you access that by using the code YGTV1425. You will also get the free postage. It doesn't quite come out as yellow as that. The next video that you see will be more like the yellow colour that you will get from the flower. I think it's just a very bright day. It's a bit more like that. There you go, that's more what it's like. 680059. Quick one on the heavy duty pots. Caroline, you're in the lead, you've got 20 of them. It is a competition now. Amanda, she's got 20. I've got 16, that's the top 3 at the moment. Look, I'm only joking. Not everybody needs that many pots, but they are really, really handy. If Sean Ryan were here, he'd probably win because he's got more of everything. You've got the 4 heavy-duty pots there. They're 40 centimetre diameter. They're 30 litre capacity when it comes to the amount of compost, and you can grow all sorts in them. Let me tell you what I've got because we always see what Sean's got. I'm going to tell you I've got an apple tree. I've got my 3 different types of blueberry and also my pink blueberry. I've got my Stella little cherry. I've just planted a peach tree. I've got a cordyline. I've got a rose. I've previously grown potatoes and tomatoes in there as well. Adam, what have you grown in the heavy duty pots?
I grow my cucumbers, cucumber Socrates. I've got some climbing tomatoes, modus, which I grow in there. Also, I'm going to grow peppers in there this year. Yep, lots of things. And also, Bex, I use them at work for things like if I get big dumpy bags of gravel or chippings, and you've got to spread them between plants, I just fill one of them up and it's just light enough to lift and I can just spread the gravel and the chippings between the plants.
Nice.
Because sometimes if you put a big wheelbarrow load in and tip it out, it goes all over the plants and everywhere. With those,
take your time,
you can do it gently and accurately. So.
And of course, it's great for collecting all your deadheading. Oh, there was a green twister behind that then. Did you see that? There was an echinacea green twister right behind the pot. Collecting up all your deadheading, your trimmings. Simon uses one for his laundry. He uses them for recycling as well. Keep all your canes standing in there to keep them nice and neat and tight. There's so many uses for these. So do consider stocking up on your heavy duty pots, and if you've never tried them, I urge you to give them a go. Get a pack of 4, and once you've got your pack of 4, you'll all of a sudden realise that you needed more of them, and you'll come back and you'll get more. Yeah,
always find more uses for them.
Right, let's show you what we've got on this table. What have we got on this table? Okay, so we're going to go with the cornus starting off on this end.
Yeah,
this one's called Nightfall.
It is, and this is a really, really unusual dogwood or cornus because it's got dark, dark leaves. Again, it's a new one on me, this one, and that's a great thing.
I love that about working here. There's always a new plant.
There is, and I think we're breeding new varieties of things all the time. And when I saw this, I thought that is really wow. And imagine, Bex, growing that in front of, say, the sambucus, the golden-coloured.
That's exactly right. The Sutherland Gold.
Yeah, Sutherland Gold.
Instantly, that's what came to my head as well.
Or the Choisia Sundance, or something like that, for example. You know, if you grow you know, a plant this colour against something that's sort of that yellowy colour, you get that fantastic contrast. So yeah, this is a dogwood. That's the common name from dogwood. It's got these dark, dark leaves that look fantastic all the way through the summer into the autumn. It's a deciduous plant, so it will shed its leaves, but that's not the end of the show for this one, because what it has in the winter time is bright red stems. So even in the winter, you can see there just the beautiful red stems. Even in the winter time, this is going to give you really good interest. But some dogwoods or cornus that you might have grown get big. Yeah, they can get 2 or 3 metres tall. They can get quite wide. They, you know, shrubs can take up an awful lot of space. This one is really nice and compact. This gets to about sort of 75 centimetres, a metre tall max, about half a metre wide. So it's a much smaller, much more contained dogwood. Fantastic for a container or a planter. And so you can enjoy this beautiful dark, almost black foliage throughout the summer, enjoy the red stems during the winter, and sometimes dogwoods produce sort of flat heads of white flower, a bit like sort of a cow parsley sort of flower-shaped head.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, you know, you can get that sort of attribute as well. But, you know, definitely try these, because these are very different and very unusual.
How big did you say they'll get? Similar to...
No, these are much more compact.
Much more compact,
yeah, so I think this one's no more than about a metre, to be honest. So you could even grow this in a container. You can see there, look, growing in the picture of ours, growing in that sort of lovely pot there.
Oh, that is rooty, I can tell.
You can tell, can't
already.
you? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's really struggling to get out the base. Oh, look, it's all coming out the base. Hang on.
Oh, you can hear.
Sometimes you have to just do it, don't you? There you go.
Look at that. That is a good root system.
That is a proper rooty beauty.
And, you know, and that's the thing with us. You know, we don't just, you know, plonk cuttings in a pot of compost and then after 3 weeks send them out to you. We root them on properly. You know, we get them really, really mature so that, you know, when you get them home, you've got that brilliant root system. That means that plant is going to establish really quickly and it's going to grow away really quickly as well.
It is indeed. So it's the Cornus Albert Nightfall. You're getting 3 9-centimetre pots there, a third off the price, 33% off the price with that £10 saving, and free postage when you use the code YGTV1425. We've got a hydrangea. Did we talk about the other hydrangea yet? Oh no, that's coming up next. We've got a climbing hydrangea for shade coming up. But this one is Hydrangea Polestar that we've got here, where you're going to get 3 actually in the 9-centimetre pots. And this one's a bit more compact. This is perfect for container growing too.
It is, yeah. And also this has got a really unusual habit in that the flowers keep changing colour throughout the season. So, you know, some hydrangeas you just want to cut the flowers off when they're finished. But this one, if you leave the flowers on, they'll continuously change colours, so they can start white and then eventually you get these tones of green, you get tones of pink. As the flower matures, it just keeps changing all the time. Again, look at the root system on these, Bex. Beautiful, beautiful established root system on these. And this one's only about sort of 50 to 75 centimetres. And when it's in full flower, it's one of those plants again where the foliage almost pretty much disappears under the amount of flower. I mean, it is a real stunner. The true flowers are actually those sort of little things in the middle. The sort of the main part you can see are actually what's called bracts, which are kind of a modified leaf really, but overall it just creates this really dramatic kind of display, and as I say, you get that change of colour as well. You can even leave the flower heads on throughout the winter because they look quite ornamental during the winter time, and sometimes the dead flower heads can protect the foliage underneath. But this is a hardy shrub. It's a shrub that will come back for you year after year after year. It likes sort of a moist soil. Hydrangeas are good for dappled shade as well, but it can be out sort of in a brighter position as long as you keep it watered and obviously feed it if it's in a container as well.
Would we class this as a lace cap hydrangea when it comes to pruning? I don't think it's quite lace cap flowers, is it?
No, I'd say that's kind of more of a mop heady kind of type, isn't it? Sorry, Bex, lace cap as opposed to the paniculata
Correct,
type.
Yeah. So just when it comes to pruning, because obviously this is a question that people get confused about all the time. This one would grow on old wood.
Yeah, flower on
Flowers
old wood.
on old wood,
so,
sorry.
Yeah, so what you do with this one, I keep looking at the wrong camera. I'm so used to looking at camera 1 when we're here sometimes. it's like that one.
Matt's here, we're doing it differently.
But
today. I like it.
The thing is, with this one as well, what you need to do is not just sort of trim it all back in one season if you want to trim it. Just each year, just take 1/3 of the old growth away, 1/3 each year.
When it's established.
Yeah, when it's established.
No,
in the first 2 or 3 years, don't bother. But after that, if in springtime, have late winter, early spring, what you'll see some of the stems are really brown and the bark starts to peel off a bit. Take those old stems out. The ones that are lighter green and more kind of smooth looking, leave those and do that over a period of 3 years, and then you'll gradually renew all the growth, and that way you'll keep flowers every year.
The general rule is if it's a paniculata, it flowers on new wood,
Yeah.
so you just prune it whenever you like. It's not a problem. If it's anything other than a paniculata, it's going to flower on old wood.
Yeah.
So bear that in mind with your pruning. That's the general rule,
That's
right?
it. Yeah.
It's as simple as that. People get really confused about it, but that is as simple as it is.
Yeah.
Let's move on, shall we? So you're getting three 9cm pots on the item number 511661, and it's 21.22 in the club. We're going on to Geranium Parade now, and you're actually getting 24 plug plants. No, am I wrong? It says times 24 on the back. You're getting 12 plug plants included. I adore geraniums because, the scent. It just takes me back to my nan's little lean-to conservatory. She used to grow these on the windowsill in her conservatory all the time. And you can grow them as an indoor conservatory plant, or you can plant them outside, can't you?
You're funny enough, we were having this conversation yesterday because I used to look after a lady's garden years ago, and she had a conservatory on the end of the house that she never kind of really went into. It was one of those ones that had all webs up in the corners, and they were like poor cacti in there that hadn't been watered for about 5 years. The kind of
still growing happily though.
But she used to have these geraniums.
Cacti geraniums all around the windowsill.
And she used to have these geraniums. And they were about a metre and a half tall, where they'd been there all those years, and all the lower leaves had all gone yellow.
I used to go, can I water the plants now? And she'd be like, not the cactus. They don't need. And I'd be like tipping water as well.
But they will grow into kind of almost like small shrubs, if they're protected all the year through. But these are going to look fantastic for you for the summertime, for your summer bedding. But having said that, if you protect these, you can get them from 1 year to another. So we've got a fantastic mix of colours. So you've got the pinks, you've got the reds, you've got the whites. You've got the salmon colours there, and these are your bedding plants for full sun. So when we talk about begonias and busy lizzies for shade, these are the opposite end of the scale. But these are really silly, ridiculous, drought tolerant. If you planted up a trough of geraniums and you didn't water them for a month, they wouldn't die. They go a bit reddish, the leaves, when they dry out, but they wouldn't die. They'd still survive. So if you're the sort of person you want lovely displays in your hanging baskets, your pots, your troughs, your containers, but perhaps you work away during the week, you only get back to your garden at the weekends, go for these, because they'll go a whole week without being watered, but you'll get loads and loads of flowers on these, and they're really easy to deadhead. Once the flower's gone over, just pull the little stem to one side, and they kind of really cleanly just snap away from the stem of the plant. That will encourage more flowers. But if you are round and about, water, keep moist, feed as well, and just enjoy it. Probably 4 or 5 months of colour from these, right up until the frosts. But colour from flower, but also, as Bex pointed out, colour from that beautiful foliage as well.
Yeah, it's got the zonal sort of circular pattern on it, which is amazing. Do keep on top of your deadheading, because if you don't, they stop flowering. I've learnt this. I have learnt. Just, you don't have to be out there every day at all. It's not hard. It's not difficult. Just do your deadheading.
Yeah, because you showed me those beautiful pictures of those pots you had in your front garden last year with the blue lobelia and everything. You had those gorgeous geraniums in there, and they look fantastic.
They look great for a little while, and then I did not keep on top of my deadheading, and then they went a bit, quiet, and then I was like, okay, get out. Snipped them, cut them all back, and they came back lovely.
Good.
But if you want continuous flowering, deadhead.
Yeah.
401473 is the item number. You're going to get 12 of those plug plants. Lovely range of colour in there as well. £12.74 in the club, of course. Make sure you're using the discount code, please. Sorry, the offer code, YGTV1425, so you get your free postage on there as well. Dudsia, the Million Stars, pink carpet. Again, okay, is this dry? I feel like we've had this in the pot and shed a couple of weeks. No, it's all right. We need to give it a little water. Look at how many buds are on here. Now I can tell why it's called pink carpet. It's because that all those little dots that you can see all over there, those are the buds that are going to turn into those beautiful flowers. That's going to get covered in these, isn't it?
Isn't that gorgeous? When you look at...
I mean, I know it's in a 19 centimetre pot. I know it's nicely established, but it's on a smaller plant. Imagine this once it gets more established as well.
Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal. And when you look at those flowers close up, they also almost look like apple blossom flowers.
They do, yeah.
Really, really pretty. But this Deutzia is slightly different to the ones you might have seen in the past, because quite often some of the older varieties get really tall, they get really leggy, they take up lots of space, and they only flower for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then that's it. This one will keep flowering. It will have its main flowering period in the spring, but sporadically throughout the summer it will keep throwing out little clusters of flowers, so it keep giving you that lovely flower interest. And it's a really nice compact plant. Again, it's only going to get to about 75 centimetres max, and it will kind of spread and just sort of gently cascade over the side of a pot or a planter. It's bone hardy, it will get through any winter, it will come back year after year after year. When they're sort of established, they're very drought tolerant. You don't really need to prune it. All you've got to do if it's in a container is feed it, use our blooming fast, which is absolutely brilliant, and just enjoy this plant for year after year after year. And as usual, you've got that fabulous root system there as well, always guaranteed. You've got that really gorgeous, nice, mature plant. And this will, again, be a really nice little talking point. So if you've sort of grown Deutzias in the past, but you've got bad memories because they were too tall, too much space, but you want one for a compact space, grow this one. It's absolutely stunning, this one.
Yeah, it is, definitely. 511678 is the item number. £5 saving on there. Free postage when you use your code. Go to YouGarden.com to place your order. Or if you would like to speak to human beings, you are able to use the phone lines as well. 0844 502 0050. Phone number is on the bottom of the screen, down in that bottom corner just there. Final one on this table. Oh, Erigeron. Mexican flea bane. You do need this in your garden. Everybody needs this in the garden, I think, don't they?
You do.
A pot of it on its own looks outstanding. It really does, because of the colour changing that you get. But I've grown this, and I'll bring some pictures, I'll show you at some point. I've got this growing alongside my Geranium Roseanne, and it's sort of mingled in together. And the two things look it was an accident, I didn't mean it, I wish I'd planned it. I will in future. It looks amazing, that combination, and if I can encourage anybody to do it, I promise you it's a really good combo. But it's really good at ground cover and filling gaps as well, isn't it?
Joe, these are stunning, stunning little plants, because the flowers start off white and they just look like kind of that lawn daisy, kind of perfect little daisies, and then as the flower fades they turn a pinkish colour. Really, really good ground cover on these as well. Fantastic ground cover. And they do seed about. They're a bit like forget-me-nots. Once you've got them, you're never without them. But what they do, they will just kind of grow and seed themselves about in all those little gaps, all those little places where other things won't grow. But they don't out-compete the other plants they're with. They won't overwhelm the other plants. But you just get endless weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of these beautiful daisy-like flowers. You don't even need to deadhead them. I've seen these plants grow between block paving. They'll grow on clay, they'll grow on sand, they'll grow in semi-shade, they'll grow in full sun. You don't need to feed them. All you need to do is once a year in the spring is cut the dead growth off the top down to about a couple of inches. They'll reshoot and they'll do this all over again. But once you've got them forever, because they seed about, and you get loads of little baby plants that you can transplant or leave to grow where they are.
I got a few of them in my garden and I adore them. They flower for flipping ages. They just keep going. They look great all year round. They close up at night time. They open up in the daytime. The colours, and they're just ridiculously easy. So tolerant. I've got them in each border, and each border is slightly different by way of light. You know, one's bright, sunny, one's more shady. They don't care. They just keep going. So I think it's a fantastic one for any gardener, any garden, any ability of gardener. You definitely want some Erigeron. Let's get Erigeron. 560640 is the item number. If you'd like to go for that, is £16 saving on there. Shall we have a visit to Sean Ryan's garden? Let's do it.
Well, this is where I've put Erigeron in my garden, because this whole board, I'll be honest, it's very rubbly. Haven't really worked out quite what to do with it, but I wanted ground cover. And there's only about 3 plants here. They've been here a couple of years, and they just flower all summer long for 6-7 months of the year. And what I've done, I've actually extended. So now, because they did so well then, this is often a tip, if you see a plant doing well, then you might want to repeat it somewhere nearby or get a similar variety. So I've actually just planted a few more plants along here. And the great thing is they will just flower and flower all summer long. Each plant can get up to about 1 metre by metre. The flowers change colour, so sometimes they're white, sometimes they're dark pink, light pink. And at the end of the year, all I'll do is literally trim them back, and we'll do it all again next year and the year after and the year after. It's known as Mexican flea bane. That's the popular name for it. And it's one of those plants that will tolerate a very poor soil, likes lots of sun, and needs very little love and attention. It's just a brilliant ground cover plant that will flower all summer long and produce thousands of flowers. And they're like little daisies, which I love.
So there you go. That's just one, serving suggestion when it comes to your erigeron. I've given you a serving suggestion as well. I'm sure if you looked around your garden, you could think of some really good places for that erigeron to go. We're moving on to something that I'm really excited about. I'm sure we brought this last week. I think it was on the show last week. Was it?
Yeah, we had this last week.
Yeah,
and it was really popular as well.
I think this is fantastic, and we've been getting this question a lot at the moment, haven't we? Particularly on our TikTok shows that we've been doing. Not so much on here, but certainly on TikTok. People are looking for climbing plants, but well, just plants in general that can cope in shady spots.
Yeah.
It seems to be a regular question that we get asked, and it's because shade is a bit more tricky when it comes to growing plants, isn't it?
And also, Bex, I think what it is as well, because more and more of us now live on housing estates, and quite often you've got a lot of houses close together.
Yeah, and it creates those.
Yeah, and you end up with those shade spots. So you might be looking at the end of an ugly garage wall or something like that, or just a plain wall, and you want something that's going to grow in shade and flower, which is quite a big ask sometimes for a lot of plants. And this hydrangea will do it.
There's a lot of foliage that will grow in shade.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we often talk about fatsias and ferns and things like that, but flowering plants in shade is a bit more tricky.
It can be, and sometimes people might say, oh yeah, I can think of a really nice evergreen for shade. How about ivy? But a lot of people are nervous about growing ivy.
Yeah, because it can be quite vigorous.
It can be vigorous, but this will actually, this will self-cling eventually, like ivy, but you need to start off on a piece of trellis.
Yeah.
But what this will do is it'll grow up a wall, a north-facing wall. That's what it will love. In fact, if you put it on a south-facing wall, the foliage will get scorched, it will hate it. So it really, really does luxuriate in that north-facing position. And then once it's established itself vertically, what it does, it sends out these beautiful horizontal branches, and you get flowers, like tiered flowers, going all the way up from pretty much ground level to the top of the plant. They've got a nice fragrance to them as well, really nice sweet fragrance. I know that because I've pruned a number of these over the years. Loved by the pollinating insects. All the bees and the butterflies will be buzzing about with these all day long. You can prune it if you want to, but you don't really need to prune it. I mean, sometimes if some of the stems come out a little bit, you can just trim them back a little bit towards the wall or the fence. It's bone hardy. It'll take any amount of frost. It will come back year after year after year. It's a perennial. Has these lovely heart-shaped, really shiny, gorgeous leaves, which are a lovely foil for the flowers. But also, the flower heads look really nice in the winter time, even once the flowers have gone over. And it's and another thing that really jumps out you about this is the leaves. They turn the most insane bright yellow.
Yeah, gorgeous yellow colour, isn't it?
In the autumn before they drop. So it's a real multifaceted plant, but it's a real problem solver. So in summary, if you want a climber that flowers, that's fragrant, that has beautiful autumn coloured foliage, that's hardy, drought tolerant, not fussy about soil, Hydrangea petiolaris Animala is definitely the one to go for.
Yeah, absolutely love this. Bye, Simon. Thank you for joining us. He's got to disappear, but appreciate you sticking with us. Still got about 15 minutes left with Craft Store people, and we'll be here till 12:30 on all of the other places, so YouTube, Facebook, and the YouGarden website. So Craft Store. Lovely to have your company up until 12. If you want to carry on watching, just jump over onto the YouGarden pages and you'll be able to watch the end of it on there as well. This has got by £5 saving, by the way, if you are looking for a climbing plant that can happily live in a shady spot, that can get really nice and big. I mean, this can get multiple metres in height,
easily.
Can't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I've seen these on people's houses. You know, the end of the house where you get the V shape. I've seen it go right up into the V shape at the end of the house.
So you can do that, and this isn't It will cling and it will climb, but it won't do damage either.
No,
will it?
no, it
This
has
is something to import.
Yeah, it has these kind of little roots called adventitious roots, and they're just like little roots that come out only about sort of half an inch, quarter of an inch long, and they just stick themselves to the brick. They won't penetrate the mortar or the brickwork. They'll just slightly grip on.
But you can maintain the size of this as well. So you can cut it back and you can make it smaller if you want to. The only thing is it doesn't particularly like being hard pruned. You can do it, but you might sacrifice the flowers for a year by doing that.
Yeah, that's what.
But if you want to keep it smaller, it's possible.
Yeah, and if it does come out from the wall a little bit too far, then I would do that again over a couple of years. So take a few off that are coming out a bit too far, and then
do the other side.
Yeah, and then do the others next year.
That way you're not losing all the flowers.
But to be honest, it's not like it grows out from the wall like 2 or 3 metres.
No.
I mean, it literally only comes out a little bit, and it's nice to have it in that 3D kind of shape as well, because when it flowers and they're all coming out at different lengths and different heights, it's something to behold, honestly.
It is. 550-381 for the climbing hydrangea, the Anomala petiolaris, 21.24 if you were in the club. Use your code please to get your saving and your free postage. We're bringing in the tower pot right now, which is for your climbing plants, not this one, but for your climbing plants. So wisteria, honeysuckle, clematis or clematis. I always say clematis. You say clematis. Whatever you like. We don't care.
We all know what we're talking about.
Nobody says tomato.
No, funny enough, Matt, you're saying tomato because somebody said about bush tomato. You mentioned,
bush
didn't
tomatoes.
You? Bush tomatoes
Absolutely.
in there.
Grow those in here as well. There's so many things that you can grow in your tower pot, and we've still got that amazing deal on the twin pack at the moment. So that's what it looks like when it's built, but it actually comes to you in separate pieces. So it actually comes in 4 separate pieces. I've attached one little bit on the side there, but you've got your little trellis parts, and you just build that up into the tower pots that you can see next to me. Sometimes you have to jimmy them out a little bit.
Yeah, don't do what I did the other week. I was trying to pull it out the wrong way round. It's like
you trying to get this undone. Anyway,
obviously it's conical, isn't it? So I was trying. It's like it won't come out. That's because you're pulling it the wrong way. You daft.
I had to take it off him.
You daft idiot.
So we just build it up like this. That way round, obviously get it the right way. And then you've got your tower pots there.
And that's a really good way of doing it. So, for instance, if you're growing sort of clematis in this, you can train them around to start with. And this is one thing Bex and I always say about these. If you're growing quite a vigorous climber, say Trachylaspermum, don't train it straight up, because obviously it's going to get from the base to the top of the pot in one season. Make it go round and round and round and round.
You said this, not just round. If you can, go round and then try and get it to come back on itself.
Yeah.
And go back, get it to snake around the pot. Because actually by doing that, you stress the plant in a good way. By stressing the plant, it sends out new shoots because it thinks it's got to fight for survival. It's like, oh, I'm under attack, I need to survive. So it sends out new shoots. More shoots you get, the better the plant's going to look.
The more flowers
you're going to get.
Yeah, and the good thing is, Bex, as well, is like sometimes when we talk about growing a plant on a wall, you only get like a 2D kind of look, don't you? But with this, you get 360 degrees of colour.
£29.73, less than £15 each if you'd like to go for those. And that is the club price. So who wants to join the club? Who wants to know more about the club? Let's have a look.
If you love your garden as much as we love ours, then why not join the YouGarden Discount Club?
The club has been running for many years, and it's where thousands of our customers enjoy a whole host of benefits to ensure that they get the most out of their gardens for less.
Now is a great time to join the YouGarden Discount Club, as the benefits have just got even better. So what do you get when you join the club?
Firstly, our members will get bigger discount rates all year round. So you'll now receive 15% off our range of plants and accessories, and that's on top of any other discounts you might have.
For those bigger investments, such as garden furniture or lawnmowers, for example, you now get 7.5% discount on all of our outdoor living and machinery range.
In addition to the ongoing discounts, you'll also get more voucher value when you join or renew your club membership. We will send you 4 £5 product vouchers, which you can redeem throughout the year against the cost of your orders.
And as a new added benefit, you will now receive 2 free P&P vouchers, which can be redeemed against the cost of your shipping.
Club members get priority access to exclusive offers and brand new products at our best prices.
We'll keep you up to date with fantastic advice and top tips from our grown experts and professional gardeners to make sure that you get the most from your new purchases and existing plants. The best way to join the club is with our auto-renewal subscription. You'll pay £10 per year, then at the end of the year we will automatically renew your membership to ensure you retain all of your benefits. Plus, the price you pay when you join will never go up for as long as you remain a member, and that's a guarantee.
And remember, when you join the club, you will start saving from the very first order you make, as the discounts will be applied immediately. So with all that the YouGarden Discount Club has to offer, why not join us and start saving today?
We'd love to help you make the most of your garden for less with the YouGarden Discount Club.
So there you go. Those are all of the club benefits. If you haven't joined the club yet, please do consider getting into that club because we've saved a fortune. I love using my vouchers to place an order. It's very, very exciting. Right, we've got about 8 minutes left with you, with everybody who's watching on the craft store, so stick with us. We're going to do a quick reminder of the things that are on the favourites table. We will be saying goodbye to you then, but we will be here for another half an hour if you want to come and join us on the YouGarden Facebook page, YouTube page, or on the website. We're starting off at this end with the beautiful, new to us, new to the potting shed, the azalea pink spider.
Yeah, and this is adorable, this Bex. This is an evergreen azalea, so all the year through this looks good. Occasionally a really cold winter, it might drop a few leaves, but the leaves are really glossy, really shiny, so the plant always looks really healthy, full of vigour. The leaves as well have a coppery coloured edge to them as well, which kind of adds that interest to the foliage. But why you'd really want this is because of the flower. Oh my goodness me. In kind of May time, it just explodes into these wonderful soft pink flower heads, recurved petals, lovely white edges to the flowers as well. And in that picture there, you can see there's lots of flowers that are fully out, but look at the amount of buds. Loads and loads of buds still to come out. So, you know, this is going to look good for a good, perhaps 4 to 6 weeks for you. Just a couple of things to mention about it. If you've got acid soil in your garden, so you've already got rhododendrons, azaleas, camellias growing happily in your garden, you can plant this straight in the ground with those sorts of plants. If you haven't got acid soil, this makes a fantastic container plant. Just use ericaceous compost, feed it, water it, feed it with our citrus feed. I know it says citrus, but it's for all ericaceous type of plants. And planting wise, you know, where this would be happy, it likes dappled shade. So if you're going to grow it in your garden, make sure it gets, you know, it can get sun up to about 10:30 in the morning from say after about 5 in the evening, but just make sure you don't put it in that really hot baking midday sun. But it makes lovely, lovely kind of plant association with acers, hostas, ferns, all those kind of things.
511720 is the item number, 13 centimetre pot and just 1104 if you're in the club. Use your code please to get your postage free on that item. Next up we've got the gaillardia. Now this one is actually a perennial plant.
It is.
And it will flower for a good few months for you over summer and come back for you every year.
Yeah, and this one actually is the opposite to the azalea because this is quite happy. This is quite happy to be baked in the sun. This will love a full sun position. Full sun, well drained, open sunny aspect, great for containers, great for beds and borders. Providing you follow, you know, those 2 rules of full sun, well drained soil, it will come back for you year after year after year. And gaillardias, I've planted loads of gaillardias over the years because they just flower for such a long time. Just deadhead them. When they finish flowering, deadhead them, and it will just force the plant to keep producing more and more flower stems over a good 3 or 4 months from summertime right up into the autumn. It's not a particularly tall plant. Perhaps 18 inches to kind of 2-3 foot maximum kind of height, if that really. You can grow it in containers. It's brilliant for containers and pots and things like that. So if you're 3 floors up and just got a balcony, you can just grow this in a nice small pot. Doesn't need a huge, great big container. But yeah, just easy. It's one of those sort of perennials that you plant it, you leave it, you love it, and it will just come back year after year after year.
560854 is the item number. 3 of those 9 centimetre pots. It is a half price deal that you've got here as well, so £15 discount. Use the code please to get that discount and use the code to get that free postage as well. Phlox Pop Stars mix. This one's an annual. Get it in my head. I got it mixed up earlier. It's not the perennial one, but if you want to fill some gaps in your borders, if you want to have a pot filled with beautiful colour for a good long while, this would be a great option, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and Pop Stars is the best name for that, Bex, because you know, they are like pop stars. They're bold, they're brash, they're out there.
Ariana Grande in there.
Yeah. Yeah, they
I
want to
can't name any other pop stars.
well, yeah, they kind of remind me of 80s pop stars. Yeah, one of them would be Toya, kind of, because she was like, you know,
I used to like Toya. She
really,
was great.
yeah.
I love that lisp that she had.
Yeah, and that outrageous hair colour. One could be Cyndi Lauper, because she's a really
Matt hasn't
colourful
got a clue
character.
who we're talking about.
No, he hasn't.
He's a baby.
He knows Cyndi Lauper. But yeah, these are brilliant. These are bedding plants, so these are going to give you colour all the way through the summer, right into the autumn. And again, just think of all the places where you normally grow your bedding. You know what you've got in your garden. You know your different pots, containers, troughs, planters, hanging baskets. Ideal for all of those. Don't really need particularly rich soil. Sunny aspect is where they'll be absolutely happiest. Nice and low growing. They've got sort of a spreading habit. If you tried some of these in a hanging basket, they'll probably just gently tumble over the edge. And imagine a hanging basket of these. That'd be a bit different, a bit unusual. I've not seen these before. These are new to me. I've grown bedding phlox before, but the ones I've grown have had the nice sort of rounded edged petals. These I like because they've got those really spiky, spidery kind of shaped flower petals on. They're like little firework displays. So yeah, try these. These will be one of those bedding plants that people say to you, what are they? Where did you get them?
400548 is the item number, £12.74 club price there. We've also got the English lavender, the Hidcote, where you're getting 12 plug plants included.
Yeah, well behaved, this one. This is a nice compact lavender. It flowers for a long period of time. It's evergreen. It's got that wonderful aromatic foliage with those essential oils that kind of are released in the lovely warm weather. Covered for weeks and weeks on end with these lovely upright stems of beautiful, deep purple classic lavender flowers, adored by the pollinating insects, the bees, the butterflies. Loves a really bright, open, sunny position. Will grow on really awful, poor soils. Lavender does well on really stony, dry, sandy, gravelly, denuded kind of soil. In fact, if you put it on rich soil, it will get leggy, it won't flower as well. It actually really sort of luxuriates and does well on porous soils. So if you've got somewhere like that with full sun and other things struggle, you want colour, you want fragrance, you want pollinating insects, you want something that's going to come back year after year, try this. This Hidcote and Munstead are my two most favourite lavenders.
OK, so English lavender Hidcote, 12 plug plants, £5 saving at 480396. Last one on the table is the salvia, the Amistad, 3 of the 9cm pots here and getting really nice and tall.
Yeah, now this is a dramatic plant. Again, this is a perennial. And also this will look good with the gaillardia as well, the Arizona red shades. This can get up to 2 metres tall, and the plants we've got here could well do that. So if you want a plant that's dramatic, that flowers right up until the autumn, that has lovely arching stems of purple tubular flowers, again, loved by the pollinating insects, the bees, the butterflies, lovely dark flower stems on there with those lovely dark sepals, beautiful big heart-shaped leaves. This is one to go for. You can grow it in containers if you want as well, but it looks really fantastic contrasting with yellow flowering plants or foliage.
Right, so yes, Salvia Amistad, 3 9cm pots, £10 saving, just $16.97 if you are in the club. So make sure you're using your discount code, please. The offer code, rather, YGTV1425 to get your discounts, but also to get your free postage. We're going to say goodbye to Craft Store. We've got about 8 seconds left, so it's been really nice having your company. Thank you so much. We will be back on Thursday, so please come and join us then, or come over onto the YouGarden pages. You'll see us on there. And they've gone. So hello everybody else, or maybe Craft Store people, you've come over to join us on the YouGarden pages. Thank you very much if you have. And we're going to carry on reminding you of some of the things that you have seen already. So if you want to get your little pens and papers ready, make a list for placing your order later on, now is the time. We've still got half an hour remaining. So we've got a few more things to show you, so stick around. Starting off with the ceanothus first of all. It's the ceanothus on a trellis. This one is the Thriciflorus repens, which means if you plant it somewhere sunny, this will reach about 1.5 meters in height. If you put it in a part shade position, it will get a little bit taller. Ideally, ceanothus loves to be in a really bright sunny spot. Blue flowers, true blue, will appear on this plant and flower for about 5 or 6 weeks. You've still got time to get this so that you're still getting all of that amazing beauty of the flowers. It's normally starting to bloom, I mean, in a couple of weeks, anywhere between sort of mid to late April, going into May for 5 or 6 weeks. Hardy down to -10 once it gets established as well.
£21.24. If you'd like to get that one, is your discount club price. Azalea japonica, the pink spider, new this season. Evergreen foliage, stunning flowers that are going to absolutely smother that beautiful foliage on there. And this is the perfect, so azaleas and rhodies, they're the perfect plants to get in your garden to just fill that gap between spring bulbs coming up and looking gorgeous, and then all of your summer flowers coming up, because there's a space there, isn't there? So azaleas and rhododendrons, they will fill that gap for you. 511720 is the item number, £11.04 in the club. We do have more, we've got rhodies and all sorts on the show today. So by the way, these all need ericaceous compost. Make sure for the rhodies and the azaleas you're using ericaceous. This one is the hybrid collection. You're getting 3 of these, and these are big. If you saw them earlier, they come in the 15-centimetre pots. So these are already really big, nicely established plants. And because they're slow growing, it's worth getting the slightly larger ones here because it takes a little bit of time to get them to this size. £15 discount, taking your price down, plus another bit, 15% for your discount club price. Colours are gorgeous, lilac, red, pink, evergreen foliage, pollinators love them, put them in a dappled shade position, and ericaceous compost. 511673 is your item number. The Hydrangea petiolaris, this is the climbing hydrangea that loves a shady spot. I know it's pictured in bright sunshine there. Obviously it can cope with a little bit of sun, don't worry about that. It can be part shade or it could be north facing. If you put it in a full south facing garden, it might not like that too much. It would probably wilt a little bit. Keep on top of your watering, because hydrangeas, we know, they like to be well watered. This is supplied as a really nicely established plant already, 3-litre pot, 90-centimetre cane. It might take a year or two to get established, so be patient, but that patience will pay off because it will look amazing once it is in full bloom, and it's going to look good every single year. It gives you a dazzling display. The leaves turn a bright yellow colour before they drop in autumn. 550381 is the item number, 2124 is your club price. Tiny Pampa is up next, but this is not the 9-centimetre one. This is the grown-on one, so it comes to you in the 3-litre pot. It's already really well established. You're not having to wait. Skip to the good bit. Let's skip to the good bit. £15.29 is your discount club price. Get the grown-on version. Don't do what I'm doing and plant the 9-centimetre pots and then wait 2 or 3 years to get it to this stage. You've got it to this stage in its first year. And those plumes will appear later on in the summer, sort of end of summer, going into autumn is when they appear. 561341 is the item number. I love oleander season. There's a tunnel, do we call it a tunnel? The room, the med house basically, which is where we go, and which is where these are all kept. And I love going in the med house. It's one of my favourite ones. I say that about all of them. I love them all, I can't help it. But yeah, it's exciting going in there because these have just been delivered this last week and they're all just lined up. They are fantastic. Flowering right the way through. You've got Tiny Pampa on the screen at the moment, Matt. Oh no, you pressed the wrong button. You get flowers on here right the way through from about now. They're starting to open up. And these can flower all the way through to winter. To autumn. That was a bit exciting, wasn't it? No, to autumn. They are hardy down to about -5 once they get established. So please, in the first few years, make sure you're giving them extra winter protection. Grow them in pots, move them indoors, or give them fleece covering. They do need a bit of winter protection, but if you do that, they will delight you every year with their evergreen foliage and all of those beautiful flowers. So we've run through the details as I've been talking. There's the red, the pink, the red, the white, or the yellow available for you. So just go and have a look there. If you want to see what's on the actual show today, then go to YouGarden.com. That's where you can see all of the items that we have selected that have free postage on them. Everything that we bring you from the potting shed has free postage. Yay! If you're shopping the website, it does have postage attached to it. This is why you need to be shopping for your YGTV items with us here in the potting shed. Because also, I mean, we're quite fun, aren't we?
Well, we tried to be, didn't we?
I hope so.
Yeah. We don't people just.
I hope you like it, you know, because we're here as well. Not just obviously it's for the plants. I'm not like trying to big our part up in this at all. You're here for the plants, but hopefully we make it just a little bit more enjoyable and entertaining for you. Right, let's remind you of some of the things we've got. What else have we got? Oh yeah, we've got our climbing roses range coming up for you, which is the new one on this table. But we've got the beautiful Rhododendron Bloombux, the light pink. Do we call it Bloombux because it grows a bit like a buxus?
Yeah, like a sort of a buxus bush. Because we have something else that's got the bucks.
The berry buxus,
berry
the
bucks,
blueberry.
Same kind of thing, isn't it? Blueberry does that kind of domed habit.
I think it's more just about that. It's not going to be quite as topiary, is it? But you just got that nice sort of rounded, domed shape.
Yeah, because if you think of sort of the other buxus balls or the box balls, which sounds like an oxymoron, you think of those sort of lovely ball shapes, and this is what these do. These grow in a nice sort of rounded shape, and these are dramatic. These are beautiful. I mean, these have those lovely, lovely light pink flowers. They've got that evergreen foliage. Every time I look at this picture, like, it just makes you. This puts me off.
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
What am I doing here?
Yeah. Yes. I think she just. Yeah, I think she's just seen a UFO. But, you know, these you can grow in the garden. So if you've already got the acid soil, if you've got rhododendrons, azaleas, camellias growing in the ground, you can put these in with those. Many of us don't. A lot of us don't have that acid soil, but we want to grow plants like this. Grow them in a container, but use ericaceous compost. And every spring, around about sort of April into sort of May, probably late April, May, Chelsea flower show time, you'll get an explosion of these beautiful sort of small but masses of pink azalea or rhododendron type flowers. These will last a good 4 to 6 weeks, and then once that's finished, you've got the lovely evergreen foliage. And they're never going to get too big. They're only going to ever get to about, you know, about 3 foot tall, kind of a couple of foot wide. So, you know, a nice sort of ball-shaped, nicely contained sort of rhododendron or azalea. Pretty much what the size you see there is pretty much as big as it will ever be if you kind of look at it in scale with that glass. So these were really, really popular last week, and I'm not surprised because there's that lovely soft pink. And I think, like Sean was saying, you know, some rhododendrons, they're really bright, aren't they? They can be bright oranges, they can be bright reds,
yeah,
they can be,
that's true,
and for some people that's a bit in your face. You know, people
this
don't.
Is more elegant, isn't
you know,
it?
these are more elegant. These are softer, more gentle tones. So if you love rhodies, but you want something less kind of bold, less in your face, go for these. And the quality of these, I mean, look what Bexy's shown you there. These are multi-branched, and all those fat buds are flower buds. So these will flower for you this year. You're not going to have to wait a couple of years. You will get almost no foliage showing under these in another month, 6 weeks' time, because they'll just be covered in those beautiful soft pink flowers.
Yeah, I love it, actually. Say multi-branched, really healthy. Oh, wow. That is packed. That is, I mean, that's desperate to get planted. Look at that. Really, really rooty. Get that one out and planted. Make sure you're using ericaceous compost. It is a rhododendron, so you will need to do that. They come to you in the 10.5 centimetre pots, and you're getting a £5 saving on that item as well. As long as you use the code, you will get that discount and you'll get your free postage.
One last very, very quick tip on them as well. When you plant them just sort of 3 to 5 millimetres proud of the soil level, rather than kind of level or just below.
It's important. That's why Adam's here, to give you these top tips. Euphorbia is up next. This is the Euphorbia collection where you're getting two varieties included in here. If you've already got Miner's Merlot, we want you to get these to go with it. Do you want to grab the Miner's Merlot for us so we can show it?
Because Bex and I think, really, that this should be an offer. We think should be a triple pack, because you put those 3 together and they look absolutely fantastic. So
I know we've brought the Euphorbia Miner's Merlot to you multiple times. I know a lot of you have already got this, but just put that with any one of those 2 there, or all 3 of those together, and you can see that gorgeous contrast that creates.
Yeah, and the good thing about Euphorbias is they contrast with each other, but also the plant contrasts with itself, because quite often the flowers contrast really dramatically with the foliage. Like, well, on the Miner's Merlot, you can see the contrast there.
Lime green.
Yeah, and even the one there, the Ascot Rainbow, you can see you've got those sort of acidy kind of greeny yellow flowers that, you know, also complement, but also slightly contrast.
Sort of like pinky coloured foliage down
with
the bottom
foliage
there
as well.
And it's variegated.
And these are so easy. I mean, like, you know, Bex has grown these, I've grown these, I've seen Euphorbias grow anywhere over the years. They seed about.
Well, most of you will know the story about me moving my Euphorbia whilst it was in full flower It was roughly this time last year, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
It was roughly this time last year, maybe just a few weeks later. It was in full bloom, full flower, the absolute worst time to move any plant. And I knew it was, but I still did it anyway.
We do sometimes, don't we?
I was like, well, it's got to happen, I've got to move it. And I did, and it went so sad. It went really droopy. I mean, I worried for a minute, like I thought it was dead. Came back, no problem. So I'm not recommending you move it whilst it's in full bloom, but what I'm saying is it was strong, it dealt with it quite happily.
And they're tough, they're not fussed about soil. They'll grow in sandy soils, clay soils, they'll grow in full sun, they'll grow in dappled shade. They're evergreen, they're frost hardy, they're drought tolerant, they look good all the year through, they're long lived, you've got these beautiful flower spikes, you've got this fantastic foliage, they don't really get any pests or diseases, easy to grow. Yeah, I mean, they're just one of those plants that you just plant them, and like I say, you plant them, you leave them, you love them. There's not much else to do with them, is there really? You could
plant it, leave it, love it.
Yeah, plant it, leave it, love it. And what you can do is, you can finally deadhead the flower head if you want as well. Just one little quick thing to mention: when you do deadhead, just make sure the little white milky sap that comes out doesn't make any contact with your skin.
Yeah.
But other than that, no problem with these plants. They are beautiful.
511681 is the item number. £5 saving there, £12.74 in the club. Use your code. That's how you get your saving and your free postage as well. We've got the First flame mix here. This is the Celosia, where you're going to get 12 plug plants included, and these just look unreal. I love the colour combination, the feathery flowers. They do look like they look like a pampas grass that's been spray painted bright bold colours.
Yeah, I'm going to say something a bit controversial with these, because these some people might describe these as a Marmite plant.
Really?
But I love them.
I love them.
But some people might...
Is this what some people wouldn't like these?
Well, I don't... I love them because they're dramatic, they're colourful, they're different, they're unusual.
They're going to draw your eye, aren't they?
Definitely.
They're attention-grabbing.
Definitely. I mean, I think if you had these in your... I tell you what, I would like these in a container with those beautiful phlox kind of planted around the base. I think that could be an absolute shocker of a kind of a display, but really, really different, really dramatic, really unusual. And almost, these are like sort of pampas grass flower heads. It looks like somebody's cut flowers off of pampas grass and dipped them in dye and dyed them these beautiful colours. But once they develop these feathery, flowery heads, they stay like that for months and months and months. Easy to grow. We've got fantastic plug plants for you here that have been grown on really, really well. And as sort of Bex pointed out earlier, some of them have got sort of reddish colours, and we're almost wondering if you could pretty much tell which are going to be the sort of the darker colours and which are going to be the lighter colours by the actual colour of the foliage. Normally, we would say to pick the tops out of these, but I wouldn't on these, because I think what you want that central flower, as you see in the picture, because that looks really nice with the little sort of side shoots surrounding the main flower on top. Yeah. But again, if you want something different, a talking point, something really interesting for a nice sunny position, bright open sunny position with well-drained but moisture retentive soil, grow these. They'll look fantastic all the way up right until late autumn. 401515 is the item number for those 12 plug plants. As a club member, it's less than £1 a plug because it is
£11.04. Use your code, please, to get your free postage. Right, climbing roses. Do you have some structures that you'd like to cover up? Have you got an archway leading into your garden? Have you got a pergola? Have you got a boring old, side of a garage? Are all those things in a nice sunny spot, first of all? Because you need a good sort of 6 hours, 5 or 6 worth of direct sunlight. If you've got a few of those structures you want to cover up, this is the collection for you. It is the Climbing Rose Bare Root Collection. Still time to get your bare roots planted. I would say any time in May, generally, you can get these planted, but definitely keep them well watered. Yeah. 3 varieties included in here as well, so 3 gorgeous colours. Yeah, you've got your Dublin Bay, you've got your Golden Shells, and you've got your Zephyrin Druin, and these are coming as bare root plants as well. And sometimes people are a bit scared about bare root, but what we've done, these plants were lifted during the winter time. They were lifted when they were dormant, and then we keep them in a cold store. So they've been in suspended animation. Look at the shoots. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because they haven't even been watered. watered.
I know.
Nothing.
Yeah, and they've been just
Loads
wrapped
of
up in these
shoots.
bags and kept in the cold storage for months. And you would think, well, hold on a minute, you've taken them out of the ground, you haven't planted
you haven't
them,
watered them,
they've
you
been in
haven't
the
put them in
cold. They're going to die. But look, as Beck said,
shooting.
already shooting. So these are just, gagging for you to take them out of the plastic, get them into the ground. And when you plant them, that little knuckly bit at the top, or the union as it's known, make sure that little knuckly bit is about between 1/2 and 1 inch below the eventual final
Yes.
soil level. That way your rows will become nice and established. It won't get what's called wind rock and just sort of move about in the wind. You won't get the suckers either, and it will just make the plant much more happy and established. And you've got little tags, different coloured tags. You've got your pink and red and the yellow tag on there to let you know which rose is which. And roughly the Dublin Bay is about 2.5 metres. The Golden Showers and the Zephyr Endurian are up to about 4.5 metres. So they will kind of grow, sort of probably about double the size of the Dublin Bay. But look at that beautiful colour. I mean, that is that deep, deep, gorgeous red, isn't it?
Classic rose, isn't it? Classic red rose colour there. But I just like the fact that you've got a couple of, 3 different colours included. You've got the red, the pink, the yellow, bright, bold colours as well. There's nothing sort of shrinking and shy about the colour palette that you've got with that collection. So do think about getting that. It's £12.74.
What?
£12.74 as a club member. So each one of those bare roots is £4 and like 25 pence each.
So if you used a voucher,
£4.25.
you could go down to £7.24.
I mean, it's just a bonkers value. That is bonkers value, honestly. For beautiful named varieties in there. So just put those in your basket. Obviously, you need a bit of space for them, so not everybody's going to be able to grow these, but yeah.
And just soak them overnight.
Yes, give them a good drink.
Yeah, soak them in bucket water for 24 hours, plant them and water them well for the first 2 or 3 weeks once they're in till they get established.
Yes, 530010 is the item number. £10 saving on that one as well with your code. And finally on this table we've got the Dogwood Nightfall again. So this was a more compact variety of dogwood.
Yeah.
So if you've got the red one, Alba.
Yeah.
You could grow it, because that one gets big, that one gets like 2.5, maybe even 3 metres actually high and spread here.
Yeah.
This one will be shorter, so you could sort of grow this in front of and have the contrast of the dark and the red stems.
That would be brilliant as well, because also the Cornus alba, the elegantissima one, that has green leaves with lovely white edging on the edge of the leaves. So if you had that high up and this one in front, that would look really, really good.
It'd look really cool, wouldn't it?
Fantastic contrast. Or like
just as an option.
We've seen earlier on with the Sutherland, the Sambucus Sutherland, or the Choisia tenata Sundance, you could contrast it with that.
Like, what's that plant I don't particularly like? Euonymus.
Oh, Euonymus.
So you could plant it near a Euonymus. Or, those lovely foliage plants as well.
Anything with a lovely bright yellow colour. But this, this is really different as a dogwood. I've not really seen a dogwood with foliage as dark as this. And the foliage is quite dramatic, but you can see the veins on the leaves. They're lovely dark red colour as well. The leaf stalks are red, and in the winter time, the actual stems are bright red as well. So even once the leaves drop off, in the wintertime, when this is backlit by that low winter sun, you've got those lovely red branches, just looks amazing. And what you normally do with dogwoods is, the best colour comes from the newest stems. So what I would suggest with this is probably late winter, is to then trim it right down, and then all the new stems that come back, they will give you the most dramatic colour for the following winter. But this one only gets to about sort of 75 centimetres tall or so it's not a hugely tall dogwood anyway. So if you've grown dogwoods in the past, you've just found they're just too tall, take up too much space, this one you could even grow in a large pot if you want to. And you can see that. Do you know what, Bex? I think that might be Sutherland in this picture behind this.
I think it might be. I think that's probably what made us both think about it,
even though it's slightly blurred.
When we saw that.
Yeah, you can see that
colour
leaf
tone,
shape, can't you? Yeah.
I think it'd work really nicely. Maybe it'd work alongside some brightly coloured aces and things as well.
That would be nice.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, Orange Dream.
Orange Dream, or maybe I was thinking the green one, the
Aesopalmotum dissectum.
Dissectum, that's that beautiful emerald lace. That's the one I was thinking of.
And they're what you call proper aces, aren't they?
They're what I call proper aces.
Yeah, you don't like the ones.
That's a real acer.
You don't like the ones that have got the sycamore kind of shaped leaves.
I don't mind the maple leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the sycamore leaf one. I like the dissected leaves.
Yeah.
That speaks Acer to me.
They're your classic archetypal kind of Japanese acers, aren't they? I think, especially the ones that kind of just cascade a bit.
They're just starting to come out now as well.
They're
so
beautiful,
I was looking at them the other day, and the leaves are just starting to open up. And so, anyway, we're not talking about acers.
No,
sorry.
but we could.
I could talk about them all day. I love them.
We digress, but in a good way. But that's why, that's what we do on here. It's not all about, bam, 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 bam. We talk about other things, don't we? We talk about current things that are happening in the garden stuff at the moment, and kind of just share our passion and excitement.
You should see my apple teeny.
Oh,
I
really?
will show you some videos.
I want
afterwards.
to eat some of your apple teenies later in the year.
This year's the year. The amount of blossom I've got on that plant right now.
That would be good.
You're going to be proud.
You need to get that up as a video. Show everybody.
I know.
Do a TikTok video. People will love that. Yeah.
I will.
Because it's got that lovely sort of shape as well, isn't it?
So pretty.
Yeah. Does it smell nice as well?
Yeah.
Ooh, gorgeous.
Right, we're coming back into the centre now. We're going to talk to you about the lovely climbing hydrangea again. Sounds like this one has been incredibly busy today. I thought it would be. And it's because it's a problem solver. This is a climbing plant that can actually cope really nicely in a north-facing position. You could put it in a part shade position, so an east-facing garden would be fine, for example, or maybe a west-facing.
Yeah,
so it's got what we're saying is don't put it in a bright south-facing. It won't like that.
No.
Part shade or north facing, this is the answer to solve the problem of having a climber in a shady spot.
Yeah, and also full shade. I mean, it's one of those difficult things because people ask me a lot. I want a plant for a full shade area, north facing garden. I want it to flower. I want some fragrance, and you are limited. Yeah, it's quite a limited choice, but hydrangeas, this one in particular, this petiolaris, I always struggle to pronounce this word, anomala, is a really, really good one to grow. Now, what you do with this plant to start with, you could start it off on a little bit of support or a little bit of trellis, but eventually it will grip to a rough surface of its own volition. It sends out these little...
But not invasively
No.
So a lot of people worry about this when they've got something climbing up the side of the house. Is it going to burrow into the cement? Is it going to ruin my brickwork?
No. It won't do any of that. It's got these what calls little tiny adventitious roots, which just, they're little tiny sucker pads that will just grip onto the brickwork, and it will self-support this plant. And then once it's made its journey up so far, vertically, what it does then is send out these beautiful horizontal branches that flower for you with these flat heads of flower, a bit like a cow parsley shaped flower head. These are fragrant as well. They've got quite a sweet fragrance to them. And what you end up with is a north-facing wall, for example, from top to bottom, with these heads of beautiful white flowers, all nicely tiered, some further out, some further in, some above each other, loved by the pollinating insects, loved by the butterflies. This plant is super, super frost hardy. It's drought tolerant once it's established. It's long-lived. And then in the autumn, what it does in the autumn, all the leaves then turn the most beautiful, deep, deep, buttery yellow before they drop. So it's a problem solver, but not one. It's not a compromised problem solver. It's actually a plant that will grow in shade, but do fantastic things. Not just it's not just like it'll do all right in shade. It'll actually do lots of good things in shade.
It'll do an amazing job.
It will.
Yeah. If you want something to get really, really tall, we are talking 12 metres. It could reach
easily. Yeah.
If you want something to get really tall, this is the absolute answer for that. If you want to keep it smaller, you can. If you maintain your pruning, you can definitely keep it shorter. And you could hard prune it. If it gets too out of control, you'll sacrifice flowers for a year or so, but you can hard prune it back as well if you want to. It's incredibly rooty, as Adam's showing you. I mean, that is a proper rooty beauty right there. So just get that one planted and enjoy the spectacle from that one.
Just quickly before we move on, you'd do something with that, wouldn't you?
I would squeeze and tease.
You would, yeah, definitely.
I'm a tease. I'm a big tease.
You do need to squeeze and tease.
You need to squeeze those roots and then tease them out, because that's nicely packed in there. So you want to encourage those roots to grow sort of in all the different directions, or it'll just keep going round and round. That's how you get the best, strongest, healthiest plants. 550 381 is the item number. Remember, you are saving £5 on that, and you will get free postage as long as you enter the offer code when you place your order. On the website, it says, do you have an offer code? That's where you type in the code. YGTV1425 is this week's code. If you're ordering on the phones, let the operator know that you have that code so that they can apply those discounts for you. Right, I've got the iPad. Why have I got this? Am I looking to see if anybody's commented? Emails and comments. Let's have a little look, see what's coming in. I love that Simon's disappeared now. No, was it Simon? No, it was Grimmy. So anybody about the oleanders who's been talking about these, he says, my oleanders are about 4 years old and always look a bit tired after winter. I fleece mine and they do recover over a couple of months. So anybody that has been a little bit worried about their oleanders, as long as you gave them some winter protection, if they're looking a bit sad now, hopefully that gives you some confidence that they're going to come back for you. If you didn't give them any extra winter protection, you might have lost them. They're hardy to about -5 once they get established, but if you just bought them last year, they're still babies, so they still need a bit of help. Millie was saying I grow alliums in one of my heavy-duty pots. I love that. So we were talking earlier about heavy-duty pots and what people grow in them, what they can be used for. Millie's growing alliums in there. What else am I looking at? Caroline, yeah, we said that about 26 pots. Ah, thank
26?
you, Si. 26 heavy-duty pots. Simon, bless him, he was saying, Bex, as if you would bang on about anything, you're just passionate. Do you know what is true? I am. I love being here. Right, I don't think there's anything new in there, and I haven't had any new emails, but I do really appreciate all your questions, your comments, and all of your orders. Should we talk about compost? I think we probably should talk about compost. It's been a little while since we talked about it.
Yeah, and it is our most 5-star rated, loved, gorgeous, worshipped product.
It really is. Like, everybody adores this compost, and we always talk about how we're turning us into a nation of compost snobs, and we're super happy about turning everybody into compost snobs, because a lot of people think, well, it's just dirt, so it doesn't matter, does it? And it's so wrong, isn't it?
It is.
It's not true. Not all composts are made equal. Some are made way better than others, and this is one of those, isn't it?
Yeah, and the thing is, this is what we call a professional compost as well. So what's that saying? All pigs are equal, but some pigs are more equal than others. Well,
Is that a saying?
Yeah, it's George Orwell, I think.
Is it?
But
no,
honestly,
you're trying to be fancy now, aren't you? Check me out. I'm so educated.
But
I'm quoting George Orwell.
I'm just going to apply it to this compost. This compost is way more equal than others. I'll tell you why. Because it is a professional-based compost. You've got that reduced peat element in it, which is good, and eventually we'll all go completely peat-free. There is actually renewable peat in this as well from sphagnum moss peat. But when we've taken that away, we've added that composted wood fibre that lets the air get down to the roots of the plants. It allows the water to percolate, and also if you're a tiny little cut-in or a plug plant, it allows you to penetrate your roots down into this compost and become really well established, where you'll find up to 6 months of feed for your little plants as well, which is good. Little green balls that you find in here. It's got a wetting agent as well, so it actually means that it wants to soak up the moisture if it dries out a bit. It's pH balanced, so it's not too acid, it's not too alkaline. It'll actually serve the vast majority of plants, and you can see there from what Sean's doing, it's lightweight, it's open, it's airy, it's got a really beautiful texture. Comes in dead plain bags. We don't need to put fancy nonsense on the bags because we know what it does from your reviews, from our own experience. I've used it, Bex uses it, Matt uses it, Stu uses it, Sean uses it. Everybody we know uses this compost because you do get the best results. It could be house plants, it could be vegetables, it could be fruit, it could be cuttings, it could be seeds, it could be topping up your pots, for example. It could be when you're transplanting, it could be when you're planting your strawberries. Really, anything, anywhere in the garden where there's plants, you can use this compost. Yeah. And in fact, the weirdest thing ever was somebody once sent us in a picture where they did an experiment with daffodils. Daffodils normally grow on a washing line. Yeah. But Paul sent a picture in, and even the daffodils were bigger, bolder and brighter in this than they were in an ordinary compost. Yeah, there was barely any coming through in the ordinary compost, and that really shouldn't make that much of a difference to bulbs, but clearly it absolutely does. If you want the best garden, you want the best fruit production, you want the best veg production, you want the biggest and best and boldest flowers, then definitely you need to give this compost a go. You can even re-put all of your house plants in this as well. I'm starting to do it. I need to separate all my aloe veras, so it's one of my next jobs when I finally get a day off. In fact, I've got a day off tomorrow, but I'm going to spend it making TikTok content, so there you go. 100125 is the item number if you'd like to get your premium professional compost 250-litre bags. Use your code, please, YGTV1425. That gives you the savings. It also gives you your free postage, and if you're not a club member already, it's time to join the club. Costs you just £10 to join, but you get a 15% discount off everything in the shed, but also the website as well. So it's just the time to
say, massive thank you to you.
Thanks, Bex.
To you, Matt, and to all of you at home. Thank you for joining us here. Thank you for your orders. Come back on Thursday. We'll be back again.